assume things like that. That would be bad. Yeah, that's what they say.
Sorry. Storm going on. Game running the power line. We'll see.
Not just good. Not just good.
No, my experience with England has been Heathrow Airport before going on somewhere else.
To be fair, you've seen the best part then.
I spent most of that time lying across 3 seats because my ears hurt a lot from this set.
Right.
Well, I was gonna go with 80 people. Only on this bit. I have been to weddings with lots of toddlers, so I feel like the thing is going to be like a pack of children running amok.
Thanks, no Yeah, I have indeed. Indeed. No. I'm struggling to think of any animals at the wedding. Other than, you know, those invited.
Certain cousins.
Yeah. People at the party afterwards.
You want to name names? Get yourself in trouble.
Not allowed.
It's because I turned the wrong thing off. There, thank you, Fids. Thank you. I'm introducing people. Basically, Sparrow's brilliant, Ewan's brilliant. We're at a wedding. Sorry, I turned the wrong thing. It's twice in 2 weeks.
So
I've
has
done that.
everyone just been hearing us?
Yeah,
And
this
not-
is good.
Not anything.
I'm Luke. I'm the MC. We'll fast forward that bit. And then in the top right-hand corner, I'm thrown now. The man under the bunting, Billy Bunting. It's Ben. How are you doing, Ben?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, very, very well.
Have you and your wit and your intelligence graced many weddings in the past?
I've been to a few, yes. I've been to weddings, English and otherwise.
Oh. Have you got a preference of wedding nationality?
Well, actually, my favourite wedding was in Pennsylvania.
Was it really? My goodness, how the worlds collide.
It's amazing, really.
It is. Any pig at that wedding? That's a question I've been asking everyone. You wouldn't have seen it because I wasn't. Any pig at the wedding?
No, there was a wedding in Kent that I went to, which was graced with some sheep. In the reception, they had a sort of country house kind of restaurant reception, and the back garden wasn't. It was decent enough size, but it wasn't enormous. And at the end of it, there was a little fence leading over to some farmland, and on the other side of that was a large number of sheep
Ah,
who were clearly up to something.
sheep always are. They've got that look about them.
They've got that look in their eye, haven't they?
Did drunken revelers run in and annoy them at the end of the wedding?
They're planning how to die unexpectedly to inconvenience the farmer.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, I had selected lamb on the menu, so maybe they had reason to look alarmed.
Sheep are skittish at the best of times. You could unleash one at a wedding, but I don't think it would do the same sort of damage as a pig potentially.
I don't know. A decent ram could really make a mess.
Ah,
Mhm,
maybe
mhm,
next
mhm.
week we could play ram at a wedding
Ram at a
and,
wedding.
and compare and see how they
This
go.
is us. This is
This
our
is-
content for the next 2 years. Different animals at
At a
weddings.
wedding. We started as a traveller sci-fi roleplay game. Nah, scrap it. Just animals at a wedding.
Weddings, that's all we do.
That's it.
Just animal weddings.
We started out with one game about hanging around in cars and inconveniencing people, and then we got into the wedding shtick, and we can't leave it.
Yeah.
Well, they say
Yeah.
you've got to have a niche. It's
Yeah.
definitely a niche.
It would be niche. Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, there's definitely opportunities for brunch type activities at a wedding. The reception is basically an extended brunch.
That
Yeah.
is. Speaking about brunch, I think I've managed to add every single person, a little emoji now, which is a little mimosa. Everyone can use a mimosa now, which is good. Which is good for a toast. Got that little free mimosa for everyone. So
Oh my
everyone's
goodness.
involved today. Everyone can raise a little glass to clink clink when we get to that point of the wedding, if you wish. This is very hot for me. This fake tie. It's coming off now. I didn't last as long as I normally do at a wedding.
I'm so excited
Mimoji.
about this.
Emojis.
Hurrah.
Spare us 3 down already. Oh my goodness, I've got to slow you down.
Look, I showed up, okay?
Okay, I
You
suppose
could
we
ask for more.
better explain how this game works and actually start it at some
Okay.
point. As people wouldn't have heard me because and the you and love as well, of course. That's very vital. We all stand for you. As people wouldn't have heard me at the start because I was muted, we are using Roll20 for the first time for the video. So if things go wrong, it's not my fault. But if audio is weird like it was, please let us know and we can sort it out. I hope you like the new layout. It's not going to be for everything, but for every now and again, it might be quite fun to have slightly bigger boxes so we can see you and Sue in all its glory. Mostly. Are you still wearing shorts, though, Ewan?
Yeah.
Well, you do to
Obviously.
weddings. You're being very authentic. Cool. So that's Roll20. So let's look at some other bits on the screen. There's something that's called the scheme track. That will be going up during the game, which I'll explain in a bit. And at the bottom, there's called the Pig Suspicion track. This is a very important track, which will be going up during the game also. The cake is just there to be pretty. The bunting is just there to just add a bit of pizzazz to Ben. The pig at the wedding's there because it's a pig at a wedding. And our names at the bottom so we don't forget. There's our names are with us as you need because I think it's quite nice because people always ask which one's Ewan. Well, now you know. You haven't known for 2 years. Now people know who Ewan is. Although next week people will be like, who's this scruffy man? Where's that nice, smart young Ewan? Right. So, pig at a wedding. It's got a subtitle: Pork and Marriage, which is just a terrible subheading, quite frankly.
Hmm.
It's upsetting. Pork and marriage.
Yeah.
It's a game based around a wedding and a pig. In the game, the three of you are playing three people who have been wronged in some way, which I don't yet know. I don't yet know this, and I don't think you know each other's reason for wronging either. They've got a reason why they were wronged by one or both of the happy couple. And in order to get their revenge, somehow they've been invited to the wedding. Obviously, these people don't have that many friends. But they want to get their revenge by, between the three of them, unleashing a pig at the wedding. It's going to be at the wedding reception to cause some chaos, to sort of mess with their happy day. Okay, that's the main part of it. The game unfolds over the course of a wedding. So when we'll join it in a bit, the wedding service has already taken place. So it's a very English-style wedding. So they've been to the church, they've done their vows, they've done all their sing songs and so on, done the march up and down, and they're returning to the reception, which for us today is going to be at a stately home, which I'll go into more when we get there. The game will take place over the course of the reception from the beginning to the end. As with all role playing, there'll be bits where I'll explain the surroundings, or there'll be points that you'll hit. So parts of a wedding, like people know, like the toasts, or sitting down to eat, or things like that. So I'll be teeing up each little mini section, and then I'll free the floor to you guys if you wish. There's many guests there that you can interact with or can interact with you. You're free to stay in the place or move around. You're in the grounds of a stately home, so there is some freedom. But your main goal is to take ownership, to take receipt of a pig that is en route, that you have ordered in, however the three of you decide has happened, to make sure the pig is put into a great place to be unleashed at a time that suits you three for maximum glory, I guess. Now, the scheme track and the pig suspicion track are two very important tracks. This is, so during the game, anything that you do interacting with people and so on, or things that I might bring about sort of an engagement, especially if you bring up something based around your floor. And we're going to choose some floors, or we're going to roll for some floors in a minute. Okay. So especially if something comes up that's based around your floor, an interaction, you're going to roll a dice. And it's going to be a different dice depending on how audacious and risky the situation is. So if it's something that's you're trying something out, or something's happening that's really risky that could totally ruin your plans, you get to roll a bigger dice, because it could work out amazingly or could cause problems. If you're playing it a bit safe, like I don't know, whatever, it's up to you, then it might only be a D4 you're rolling. If it's a little bit more risky, it's a D6. More risky, D8. The most exciting and dangerous dice, Ben, is the D10. Ben's favourite dice. And so you'll play out that situation, you'll roll the dice, and then depending on how well it does, a disaster might happen where people become more suspicious of the pig, or there's a failure, or success where your scheme improves. Big success or great success where your scheming gets better and better and better. You've got a target you need to hit on the scheme track, and when you can do that, the pig gets revealed devastatingly. It says in the thing. So there's different bits where I'll explain something has happened, but I'm not giving it away now. Pig suspicions is the same. So the more suspicious people get, things will sort of trickle on through, if that makes sense as well, until that gets to a certain amount. There is a number in a book. I don't know how it's going to work compared to how we play, so I will alter it as I see fit, but they will both stay the same as each other, if that makes sense. So both are just as equally likely. If you fail something, you'll get to do a cutaway. The cutaway scene is like a little flashback, like in a film. A little pause, like in Arrested Development, and it's like, this is when he decided he should have put a parachute on. And it cuts back, course. And then you'll get to do a little flashback to your history, and you'll get to say maybe a bit about why you hate them, why they betrayed you, how they betrayed you, what you want from the day. You get a little couple of minutes to shine in your backstory. If that makes sense. You can, of course, share as much your backstory as you want with each other, or chatting with the guests, or lie. Don't care. Okay, but the flashback has to be kind of truth, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. So that will roll on and roll on, and then at the end we will either hit the target for the scheme. Pig is released, and you guys can tell what happens, or they become very suspicious of the pig. The pig is found. You fail. Ignominiously. You can boon Fids. I think I've kept. Oh, I don't know if I've kept boon on. Do we want boons? I've kept NPC naming on. You can name
I don't
the
know how
guests.
boons work in this game, to be honest.
No, it just means a second roll. Let's keep boons off for that, because it just means another roll, which is quite powerful
Okay.
rather than thing. But you can NPC name. That's absolutely fine, and there's other bits and pieces you can add as well. And there are little bonuses we can add as well. And if I can find a way to add bonuses from the chat, Socks, to get you more involved, I will find a way as well. Absolutely. We love being interactive. So all that said and done, before the wedding starts, we need to know a little bit about you guys and the pig. So do you want to start with you guys or the pig? Who should we get to know first?
Well, I feel the pig first, because
Right.
it's literally the first word in the whole stream title.
That is true.
They will be the guest of honor as well.
Assuming we get it right, yes, the pig
most
will be
memorable
the
part of
focus
this
of
wedding.
attention. Yeah.
Right.
You're welcome.
To find out the characteristics of the pig that you have hired, or whatever, I'm going to need 2 rolls of a d10. So I won't make Ben do it. The other 2 can. Now the
Excellent.
question
I don't
I
like
want
to touch them.
the question is, the question I want to know is, do you want to be told the characteristics of the pig, or do you want to find out when you receive it? It's like you've gone to a pig shop.
No
and picked
one's
one off the
no one's making the call.
Wait, is this the timing thing? Do we
So-
want to know now or later?
I want to know. I want to know the number now, because I will write down what the pig is like,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
you can know what the pig is like now, or you can wait until the pig arrives.
Oh yeah, let's find out later.
Okay, dokie. Sparrow, what
Because I
number?
want
do
us
you-
to make a bunch of assumptions about the pig
Sure.
Okay.
and then
you-
be wrong.
The best thing is you don't know what the words are either when you receive
Yeah.
the pig. Okay, pig traits. Sparrow, give me a number between
When
1
we
and 10.
receive the pig.
1.
1. Oh.
Oh, I
That's what I
rolled a
rolled.
1 as well.
Okay, one of us
Oh
has
my
to reroll,
word.
I think.
And we can't have. Nah, we'll have a different one. There's a really funny line I could have made if we were giving away what the pig traits were, but I can't.
Do you want me to re-roll?
Please, Junior.
That's a 3.
Ah. Oh, I don't know how they. Oh, no, that might work. Okay. Interesting. They're not quite antonyms. Cool. Now, you've all got a character, you've got a name, you've got a reason, and so on. But you're gonna, and how your character is mostly up to you. But you're each going to have an expertise and a flaw, and that's going to be decided now through. Do you want to choose one of 6, or do you want to roll it? Do you want the luck, or do you want some choice?
I'm tempted to say luck is the way to go here, because it'll inspire us to do weird things, won't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. This one is a D6, so we can start with Ben.
Okay, excellent. A D6 for me.
This is your expertise. I'm going to let you roll your expertise, but someone else roll your flaw, so you can blame them
Oh,
for
that's
your
an
flaw.
excellent choice.
Yes.
My expertise is apparently 4.
Oh. Okay, your expertise, Ben, is
Mhm.
you're an expert of disguise at yourself or other people.
So Ben will be
Nice.
putting lipstick on the pig.
Yeah.
it's the bride. Uh,
Okay, yeah.
Ewan, can you roll his flaw, please? 1 6
Of course I can. That's a 2.
2. However, I'll turn this down a little bit, I guess. You really does your character prefer men or women, Ben?
My character is male and
do you-
prefers women.
prefers women. You really, really fancy the head bridesmaid. Really desperate, like, so that it impairs
Okay.
your judgment.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Ewan, could you roll a d6, please?
I certainly can. That's another 1.
Another one. You're really
well.
your expertise is you're really good at heavy lifting.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm guessing that's physical as opposed to like metaphorical and emotional.
I'm assuming so, yes.
Sparrow, could you throw a d6 for Ewan's weakness, please?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I hope it's not also fancies the head bridesmaid.
6.
Oh. Although you're really good at heavy lifting, you're really clumsy and you try and take unstable loads.
So, Harold Lloyd?
So you're really, really strong, but a bit clumsy, and you don't always choose the right thing to take.
Keystone Cops? Where-
Oh man, it could work out quite nicely. Okay, Sparrow, give me your positive, please.
4? Has that been used yet?
Yeah, do you want something different? That's disguise.
Yeah, I'll roll.
Yep.
3.
Hey, Ali, you all right? You doing good, Ali? Welcome to the wedding.
Evening,
I hope
Ali.
you're wearing your best
Ali.
dress. Oh, you're really good at close-up magic,
Oh.
show tunes, and a bit of dancing.
Aw.
Oh, see, I told you, Jazzy Friend.
Yeah.
Jazzy
Nice.
friend.
That's why they invited me, even though they did that thing.
Well, yeah. And they know what they did.
They know
Yeah.
what they did. Ben, could you roast Sparrow's weakness, please? Ben, could you roll Sparrow's weakness, please?
Oh, yes, certainly
Sorry.
can.
Sorry, I didn't know if you'd done that. You were like,
That's a 5.
Oh. Your weakness is you have a surprising number of exes at the wedding.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
yeah, I seen that. Did you
Okay.
see how I dance?
Well, exactly. That's the draws them in. So, quick catch up. Ben's really good at disguise, but he fancies the head bridesmaid to beyond a fault, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Ewan is really good at heavy lifting, but he is clumsy and takes unstable loads when he shouldn't. And Sparrow is amazing at close-up magic, singing and dancing, but has a lot of exes at the wedding. And that is your things. Socks asked earlier, yes, you can name the pig. Maybe when it comes to it, maybe when they take ownership of said pig. So don't give it now. We'll get to that point later. I could do some names. No, let's not do names. Let's do it when you're in the car. A lovely scene. So I'll set the scene, shall I? We've got our skills. We know what the pig. Oh, I nearly said what it is. We don't know yet what the pig is.
We don't know what the pig
what
is
its
beyond,
characteristic is.
pig.
So let us begin. You have spent the morning, at a wedding of 2 people who, between you don't get on with very well.
Mhm.
It's in a local town, a small town called Middle Farningshire upon Whittle.
Yep.
I'm not writing that down.
Middle Farningshire upon Whittle. Whittle being the river, of course, because anything upon has to be the river. So Middle
Mhm.
Farningshire upon Whittle. So it's pretty similar, yeah. And so as the service started at sort of 10:30, 11, it was in an old the old villagey town Anglican church, old church. The service was led by the priest, the Reverend Wilf Huckleton.
Huckleton, yep.
Wilf Huckleton. I just realised that's going to be really hard to say if I have too many drinks. I didn't think that when I wrote it down. Wilf Huckleton. Really didn't. And it's the marriage of Henry Merriweather,
Yeah.
who is he's 34 and is a stock trader in the city.
Mm-hmm.
You will know that he loves rugby and hunting, but hates swimming.
Okay.
Okay. So Henry Merriweather, the groom, 34, stock trader in the city, loves rugby and hunting, hates swimming. What a guy. It's your kind of guy, Fitz. We'll hook you up if you want. And he was married to, as was then, Hermione Wellington Smythe.
Mm-hmm.
Hermione Wellington Smythe. She's double-barreled the name, so she's now Hermione Wellington Smythe Merriweather.
Mm-hmm.
Of course she is.
Of course she is. She's 31. She's an Instagram influencer and
Oh, God.
and a guinea pig breeder.
Okay.
She loves luncheons and fame.
Mhm.
She hates mess.
Mhm.
It really freaks her out. Okay. Um, I can give one more name at the minute. Dependingly, Ben, your fancy of the head bridesmaid, is this something that is going to be love at first sight at the wedding, or do you know this person?
Oh, I think because I know the couple already, I would probably know the bridesmaid, likely to be a very good friend of the bride.
Okie dokie. The head bridesmaid is Debbie Clough,
Mhm.
Clough. Debbie Clough. She is a school friend, an old school friend, known her for years and years and years and years. Loves going to luncheons together.
Mhm.
Very long nails today, freakishly long nails. I don't know how she got them that long. Very well turned out in that regard.
Cool.
Okay. I can give more information about people as we get there, but I'm giving Sparrow and you a chance as well. So, do either of you have a working knowledge of the groom's parents, the bride's parents, the best man, or either of the two ushers, or any of the bridesmaids? Would any of you like anyone?
Well, I have a number. I have too many exes. So at this wedding, I mean, I don't think there's too many exes. I'm not sure what that means really, other than they can't handle my vivacious approach to life.
Mhm.
Would you like one of the wedding parties to be an ex?
Yeah, one of the groomsmen.
Right. So we
The
have
third down the line.
so we've got best man and then two ushers in the UK. So ushers. Okay. Oh.
Yep. Left usher.
Okay. Jack Windsor Lane. Double barrel surname. Jack Windsor Lane. He the best man and ushers are all rugby friends of the so he's a rugger bugger and also works in the city.
Hmm.
So that's one of your exes. Yeah, that's it. Just got it. See that? This is great. Facious. Rich life. Ewan, is there anyone from the wedding party you would like to know?
Can I be friends with the bride's father? Or have knowledge of
You
the bride's
can.
father?
You can. The bride's father is Bilbo Wellington Smythe.
What a name.
That's it. I was thinking that Sparrow Sex might have been a prop, Fitz. Bilbo Wellington Smythe.
Yeah.
You know that his wife is called Corrine, Corrine, just because you know him, of course. Or, you know, so Corrine.
Yeah.
Corrine Wellington Smythe, that's it.
Don't move my
Did you say that was
Cool.
the brides? Did you say brides? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Bilbo and Corrine Wellington Smythe. Lovely. Perfect. So there's others that I'll announce as we go along. So you know probably half the wedding party between you. The others you may, at the wedding when you sat there at the back, looking very awkward. There's about 60 guests at the wedding. You've squeezed into that church. You sort of sat around the back, and sort of you've seen them go up. So you saw the. So it works slightly differently at an English wedding normally, Sparrow, in that it'll be the same. So the groom and the best man are standing at the front waiting. So you've seen the groom. You know that's Henry Merriweather. The best man, none of you know that well, but you might have recognised him around. And then the bride will come up with her father, who of course Ewan knows of, Bilbo. They come up to the wedding music, and then the bridesmaids are behind. The mums are already sitting on the front seat on either side. And the priest, Reverend Wilf Huckleton, gave a beautiful service, very traditional. There's a lot of hurrahing and huzzahing, some lovely clapping at the end. A couple of old classic hymns, of course. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing funky or out of the ordinary. A very classic. I've got a name already, Socks, but I'm willing to lose it for you if you've got one, because it's not a brilliant name. So please do take the best man name. So the service finished. You filtered out afterwards. It was relatively boring. When a wedding runs over sort of 20 minutes longer than it needed to, when they go to sign the registers, and they haven't really left you anything to do. Not like my friends at a wedding before I knew them. At their wedding, they wanted to show pictures of monkeys on the screen while they signed the register.
Mhm.
And so their friend managed to find them a video of monkeys, but accidentally got a video. This is true story of monkeys at an animal testing plant.
Oh wow!
Rescue monkeys from an
Woo.
animal testing plant.
That might be
they-
worse than a pig.
Oh, so that's pretty brutal. But they didn't even have that at this wedding. They just expected you to make small talk while they went off, and sort of the lady at the organ played a little bit of it, incidental plinky plonking. So you're quite glad when you're able to leave the church. It's a warm day, getting warmer, but there's dark clouds looming up above, physically and metaphorically, of course. You sort of smile, do your photos, sort of take. You're only in one. You're in the big group photo. That's the only one you're invited to. There's like 30 different photos, and you just squeeze onto the ends of the group photo. You just hang around waiting. There's not even anything to drink or eat outside the church.
Oh, I hate this. I hate
It's like I haven't even thought of that. Oh,
it's sometimes like 2 hours,
oh yeah, when you're waiting for all that stuff. Absolutely.
and you're not allowed to go anywhere.
These people deserve the pig.
I know.
Reckless Ronnie Reinhardt, the hooker. Lovely. Big fan. Very loud.
I brought some mimosas in a thermos, though. I'm sharing them. In a thermos.
Warm mimosas.
In a thermos. Thermos.
Mimosas for all, I say. So you've thrown the well, maybe you didn't, but everyone got given one of those little paper cones of biodegradable confetti that everyone sort of flipped over them. A couple of people threw rice and got told off by the church warden for, 'cause it kills pigeons,
It makes pigeons
Is it-
explode.
It does.
Is the church warden someone we know? Luke?
No, very, very incidental character. You can talk to him if you want, but he
Do
just.
we know the mechanic of this town?
No, you don't know the mechanics of it. Apparently he's off on an adventure today, trying to find some guy that's gone missing.
Oh, okay. So Dave's not at the wedding.
Crossover.
That's
Apparently,
sad.
and apparently that guy's really cool as well. Yeah, no Dave,
Yeah.
sadly. Eventually, annoyingly, they kept the big group photo till the very end. I've been at weddings where they do that one first, which is great because then you can leave if you want those. But when they do, they've laid on very nicely taxis to get to the reception. And
Okay.
I've never seen people leave a wedding to get to the reception as quick as you three, bundling into the first taxi and scoop in. So you've got a couple of minutes as the taxi drives if you wish to converse while I just double check on some notes. And please,
Oh, what are our names?
well, up to you.
My name is John Blandings.
Okay. And Ewan?
I'm Graham Penn.
Penn?
Penn.
Double-
Penn.
P-
Double N.
Double M, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm Tony Eustace.
Oh, doesn't matter. Eustace.
Yes.
As long as I can read.
HUSTUS. It's not it's not one of those non-intuitive spellings like last time.
So John Blandings, Graham Penn, and Tony Eustace.
Yeah.
You vaguely know each other. You might not be best friends, but you sort of know each other well enough to grab into a taxi. But because you do, of course, have a shared plan. And the real reason why you
Yes.
accepted your invitations.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say that Tony claims the passenger side window and the back seat of the taxi just immediately and kind of like sprawls a little bit to take up some territory. Boy, that could have been livened up a bit, couldn't it? What do you expect of them, though?
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. Thankfully, we'll be providing some entertainment later.
You know, I think might be the most interesting thing that's happened to these people since that other thing.
Well, yeah, they're people who need a little reminder that life isn't always about being perfectly serious, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Thought I could be that, but you know.
Hmm. So do we know when this pig's actually being delivered?
Graham will and point over to the taxi driver. So
Yeah, the driver
next-
half turns his head around, but it's a countryside sort of place, so he just shakes it off.
sat next to him. He probably claimed the shotgun seat as long as none of the rest of the
That's
drivers.
fine.
Slightly older, I think he's a reasonably old person. Feels it's his right. You know the kind.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure when the food arrives. Does anybody do you either of you know?
No, not in detail.
You know, our purveyor has been very sketchy. I'm honestly a little worried, but it's the only one we can get on a short notice, so I guess we're gonna have to trust.
Okay.
Hope it's a good one though, lively.
Tasty. Yeah, definitely.
Eventually.
Yes. Yeah, we
Tony
will.
takes out his thermos again, and it's about half empty at this point. And then he takes another little bottle out of it and like floats some of that aniseed liquor and makes it a Harvey Wallbanger, and then offers it around again. Feels a little stronger before we get there, I think.
Yes, I'll take a swig. Thank you.
If the reception's more of what the wedding was. Oof.
Oh, it'll definitely be more exciting.
Who have they got doing the music? You know?
It's a
Do you
good
want-
question.
Do you want to
They're
know
doing
who's doing?
karaoke?
Do you want to know
Have
who's
you guys
doing?
prepared a song?
You can know it if you want, or you can find out when you get there. As part of the
We'll find
conversation.
out when we get there, I think.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing I'd have known, I don't think, beforehand.
I think it's also the kind of thing only Tony would care about.
Yes. So
So you sort of look out the front windscreen as the car winds its way down the country roads, and suddenly, quite dramatically, the road opens up, and there is a massive, past some gates and a bit of ground, there's a massive stately home. You know from your invitation and from the sign at the side of the gate that this place is called Whittle Hall.
Whittle Hall.
Whiddle, Whittle Hall.
Mhm.
It is a grand and historical stately home. It's been hosting weddings for like the last 10 years. 'Cause it fell a bit into disrepair because it's such an expensive place to keep, and the National Trust didn't keep it on anymore because the number of guests sort of dropped a little bit. So they've been having to fund themselves. They've been taking weddings on. They don't do the weddings in the stately home themselves. So as you drive up the sort of the crunchy drive, of course it's a crunchy drive with trees and grounds outside. No peacocks, so and sort of crunch around. You see that the front door to the stately home is shut, and there are staff, dressed for sort of food service and so on, that are rushing to and fro, but they're very much seem to be coming from round the back through a back entrance. And
Okay.
as you look to the left on the lawn, there is a very large marquee, and a very fancy marquee, and this is clearly where the wedding is taking place. There is a large pond. There is a very ramshackle looking, probably what used to be quite a nice hedge maze, but that's not been the top of their priorities when they're trying to bring it back to its former glory.
Yep.
There's a bit of scaffolding around one corner of the hall, but it still looks a very grand place, and you could picture it 100 years ago in its pomp, with shooting trips and all sorts of things like that,
Yeah.
The taxi driver, just to add insult to injury, to sort of take away the illusion of being in a stately home, doesn't go all the way up to that little round parking bit by the home. He pulls up about 30 meters short, so you're still on the drive, to let you out. On the grass, there's a bit of that sort of plastic grid that they put down, that anti-slip grid,
Yep.
as a path to take you over to the marquee, and stops there.
Excellent. Well, I'm hopping out and giving a quick look around, orienting myself for future reference. You understand?
Graham will just say to the driver before he gets out, I hope you don't mind me saying, but it sounded like there was a bit of a knock coming from your engine. If you know you're in the market for a new car anytime soon, and he hands him a business card, I'll give you a good deal. And then gets out.
Hey Kelly, all right. The driver sort of scowls at you a little bit before we do something new, especially that sort of performance.
Oh, thanks, socks.
I need to drag him up though. Hang on. There we go. Yes. So yeah, the driver sort of frowns. Once the door's closed, he goes and does the lap. He's getting a nice close look at the stately home, and then he's back off to the wedding to pick up some stragglers. And the three of you are there. There's, like I say, the marquee's there. There's a couple of people there with sort of trays of drinks, and the people rushing to and fro, and the grounds. So there you go.
Graham will walk up to one of the people with drinks, and he'll grab 3 drinks and walk back to the others with a glass each for them.
What's the weather like? Pleasant enough?
Yeah, it was quite sunny to start with. It's got that sense because it's getting warmer and there's some dark clouds on the horizon. There may be troubles ahead, but there may not be. It depends. The way
There
the
may
wind
be.
blows. There may be.
Okay.
Tony's gonna pretend he sees somebody he knows off in the distance and kind of wander around looking for like a shed or some dense bushes we might be hiding the pig in. Sort of like see if we can pre-set up something secure.
Okay, so you've got the marquee. I've got a map inside the marquee for when you go in there, but from what you can tell at the moment, it's a large rectangle space with a couple of bobbly bits off. One of the entrances is in front of you.
Mhm.
If you were looking at that, behind it, to the left is your pond.
Mhm.
You've got a wooded area to the left of the pond. It's not thick, it's not densely wooded, but there's sort of trees and bushes that again have not been that well looked after, I guess. To the right, so backwards of the right is the sort of the small maze that you could potentially still get lost in, but it's a bit scrubby looking now.
Mhm.
And there's a couple of outhouses a bit further away, like a bit of old sheddery and things. If you sort of have a nose around a little bit, some old.
Oh, is this what we're expected to use? Ugh.
The old gardener's sheds are there, and then you've got the stately home to the right hand side of where that is, of course.
Okay.
Where the back door's clearly open. So.
I need a little bit of an excuse for a recce, so I'm going to light up a cigarette and take a lap of the stately home, look around the back of it, and see what else there is to see in terms of gates, entrances, and the like.
Okie dokie. Just you? The other two happy to stay there for now?
Yeah.
If Tony sees John after he scouted out the bathrooms and the maze, sort of quick visual, he'll trot up behind, just sort of like doing that weird half run step,
Yeah.
smooth in from behind him, take his own cigarette out.
Well, I mean, we probably need a moment to quickly discuss the actual plan once we've seen the lay of the land a bit better, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you see those outhouses?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done worse and worse, but still.
Yes. I mean, it's important to understand we're not here to enjoy ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we can get a bit of that in, can't we? And elbow, little nudge, elbow nudge.
Sure.
Long drag. I mean, I've seen how you look at. I've already forgotten her name.
Debbie.
Tony has it.
Debbie.
Debbie.
You
Oh,
thinking?
Debbie.
You can make it a little flirt in before the pig arrives.
Well, if I can get a bit of alone time with her, you never know. But
Hmm?
you know, I've got to stay focused on the mission.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You know, it doesn't hurt to be seen doing something else. Very obviously, to throw off suspicion. So, I mean, I won't say anything if you don't say anything.
That's kind of you. Yeah. Trying to work out how I do that very obviously.
Oh, Infinite Monkey
It'll
Tails
come
is
to me.
raiding. Hey, Raiders. Hello, thank you very much. You've joined us at a
Hello.
wedding. We've just reached the reception area of the wedding. The pig has not yet arrived. You're just in time. Welcome, welcome. Pull up a seat. There's a few tables in the marquee that are free. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's a pleasure. I hope your session went really well. Whatever you did beforehand, by the way. I hope it went really, really well. You've joined us Ben's character, who is named John, I believe.
John Blandings.
And Sparrow's character, Tony, have just gone for a wander around to sort of scope things out before the wedding party have arrived. So their plan is to release a pig at a wedding to ruin the wedding of the bride and groom, who are their enemies for whatever reason. We don't know yet. As you chat, you wander around the side of the stately home. You approach the front slightly first, and there's sort of an elderly guy there, an elderly gentleman, sort of frowns at you a little bit and says, "I'm sorry, sirs. There's no entry to the Whittle Hall today, but please enjoy the grounds. I believe that you have a little free time before the wedding breakfast. So please, we're building it up slowly again, sirs. We're building it up, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. For the afternoon."
Thank you. Kind of you. Yes, just enjoying the fresh air and taking a little lap of the building, if that's all right.
Absolutely. Like I say, enjoy the grounds. Just the hall's off. You can't come in. So he's not mean or rude. He's just very perfunctory. He's doing his job. You wander around, and in fact, there's no windows that are obviously open at your level. There's nothing that really stands out. Let's make this a bit more role play-y. We're going to add to the rule set. Both of you roll a d6, please.
Yeah.
I was going to make you do a d10, but I don't want to upset Ben too much.
That's a 5 for me.
Okay.
1 for me.
5 and 1. I'm going to add them together. 6. Okay. What you've got round one side actually is looks like a large sort of coal shed. It's kept close to the house so that the servants wouldn't have had to go too far. So you have got a coal shed round one side. Do you want to look at it more, or are you happy just to walk past it?
Oh yeah. Let's see if they've just sort of leaned the door up there to keep the place closed, or it actually has hinges. This is a concern.
Yeah.
It's
we need to find out what's going on in the coal shed.
it's vital. You approach it, and it's got a fully working door on it, believe it or not. And it's got a bolt on it, but it's not got a padlock or anything. It's got the cross bolt, and it looks openable. And there's sort of a few cracks in the sort of the wood where it's broken away, and that it looks pretty empty but dusty. They've long gone past the days of using coal. It's very much just been left there. I think there might be a like an old bucket in there and a couple of rakes or something, because the gardener's filled his sheddage and needs a little bit of extra. But that's it. There's not too much.
Okay.
This is a likely spot.
It certainly seems possible as an interim location.
What did you bring to dress the pig in? You don't seem to be carrying much.
Applesauce.
I sort of pat the pocket of my jacket and say, I thought I wouldn't go with clothing so much as a paint job.
Mm. Excellent, excellent.
A few slogans.
Nice. I'm really rooting for this to happen during karaoke, but I know that because I've got a song prepared. If so, but it's okay if you and Graham have some other ideas. We haven't really talked about that.
We haven't. We should probably get back to Graham and agree a couple of basic steps to the plan.
Mm-hmm.
But I like our coal shed. This is a good place to work.
Yeah. As we walk around the shed, stubbing out our cigarettes, and Tony kind of leans one hand on the shed and lifts a foot, sees the dust there, takes a handkerchief out, brushes the dust off. We continue on after he gives the shed a thump.
Fantastic.
So,
if you carry on around like you were going to, around the back, there's nothing of interest. There is a door that's open, that you see someone coming out of carrying a platter. It's clearly the internal kitchen area that they're bringing out. So there is a door open to the house, but it's like I say, it's just in the back of it, and that's the only other thing you see of interest around the house. You continue your lap, a nice leisurely lap, and as you come around that corner, you can see the marquee again, and you can see a few more taxis have turned up. There's group clusters of people as you get at weddings, sort of standing around with a mimosa or a champagne in their hands, a bottle of beer, chatting and laughing. A few fascinators, a few hats, a man in a kilt. Don't even know if he's Scottish, and and it seems like people are arriving.
Okay, so keeping a gentle walk, not wanting to sort of attract too much attention as sort of sprinting across the lawn, head our way back towards Graham to begin exchanging just a few words of planning, I think.
Tony will make sure that he nods at the appropriate people as he sees them. Doesn't want to cause any trouble by not noticing somebody who wants to be noticed.
Was that Tony? Okay, yeah. Tony nods around. Could you one of the people you sort of nod at approaches you and sort of scowls at you a little bit and says, are you Jack's ex?
I mean, ex is a strong word. I didn't really think together was a thing that we were, but he made some assumptions.
You broke that man's heart.
I break a lot of people's hearts. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, but a bit clingy,
He's a prop forward. Rugby. He's meant to be clingy. If you can't take him at that
famous for it.
It took him a lot of beers that week to get over you, and I don't think he's even over yet. Look, keep your distance from him, yeah. Don't bring that up again. Don't upset him. He's still struggling.
I'll do what I can.
Okay, you mind that you do. Enjoy yourself, but stay away from him.
Tony does some finger guns and then bats away and turns as he goes.
Yes, unironically.
Maybe a wink, but it's subtle. If the guy wants to see a wink, he can see a wink.
He actually looks back at you twice. Okay. Harris are walking away.
As this is going on, I'll make my way over to Graham and sort of subtly stand next to him as if we're just watching people arrive and everything. But I'll say, found a place we can keep our surprise.
Oh well, that's good. Would you believe they won't even let you in the house? I thought I'd have a little look around and find some quiet rooms, and apparently it's shut.
I mean, I did have this thing at the back of my mind about maybe putting the pig in whatever room the bride's going to change into her going away outfit. Thought that could be quite funny,
Oh,
because if she opened the door and the thing came thundering down the stairs and everything. But
having eaten her outfit, more than likely.
yeah, however, if we're not allowed in the house, we may have to think about alternatively moving the pig subtly inside the marquee
Mm.
and then tying the entrances shut.
That sounds wonderful. I have to say, the idea of an enraged pig running riot. Can you imagine the mess?
Well, I'm
Can
trying
you
to.
imagine the mess?
It's the only thing that's keeping me here, frankly.
Hermione hates mess. She will not enjoy that. That is for sure. I mean, we still don't know when it's arriving, do we? Have we got anywhere to? Did you guys see anything around the house?
Yeah, they've got one of those old coal sheds out the back. Looks big enough and suitable for temporary storage, perhaps, of a pig. It's dark in there. Put an animal in there, it'll stay fairly quiet until you get it. Generally, can't leave it alone too long though, because someone might hear something or.
Yeah. Is there anything nearby? Just more
Well, the
grounds.
entire house is nearby.
But the house is closed, so.
Yeah, but there's people coming and going in and out the back, delivering food to the kitchens and so on.
Ah.
So,
I mean, I don't want to complicate things, but it'd be a shame if all of the food got eaten before the guests had a chance to eat it, and then the pig was also released somewhere later on in the day.
that would be a shame. I mean, there's a part of me that thinks it would be funnier if, when the pig's in the marquee, there's an enormous amount of food on tables, so that as it charges about, that food goes everywhere.
It's good bait, I suppose. It's
Yeah.
good bait for the pig, certainly.
And I'm wondering if we can find a way of doing it. Could we also find a way of sort of putting some pig tripwires across the inside of the marquee, sort of attached to the table legs and things, so when the pig tries to charge through underneath tables, it gets snagged up, and the table supporting the wedding cake or the table supporting the the bride and groom's dinner is dragged halfway across the marquee.
Do we have time for that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy that kind of thing's going to be.
Yeah, we'd look a little suspicious, but if we can, I'm willing.
As you're talking, Sparrow actually triggered something in the chat, which is canon, because Tony is taking selfies, posting it to Instagram to the bride. With Tony's weakness being he's got a lot of X's there. A number of people who are at the wedding will have seen the Instagram who are X's, and they'll have seen the picture of Tony with his two friends who are known, the three of them are known to not be the best friends of the bride and groom. So they're like, why are they there? So for this, I think we're going to have our first risky endangerment of the scheme. Because you've engaged with your floor, which is the X's. There's X's there. So, and I'm going to say it's not massively related to the pig. It's not like audio of you talking about hiding a pig, but there's three of you that look potentially scheming. So what I want you to do So I'd like you to roll a d4, please. The most dangerous of all the dice.
Certainly
Caltrops.
most painful, yeah.
Do you want?
This is-
Which one of us is rolling?
You, please. It's called
Okay.
it's called the Gambit die.
I am rolling my least dangerous d4. It's very squishy. That's a 2.
And could you roll a d20, please?
Sure.
A 2 is not good though.
Oh, 13.
Oh, that's okay. 15. Okay. So, there's sort of you look down at the Instagram post, and you see some you see a couple of people sort of posting on it like, "What are these three up to?" Wink, wink, wink. They haven't taken it too aggressively, too seriously, and you even get a private message from one of your exes that are here, saying, "Oh, I thought you were here. Can we meet up later?" So it's actually come up quite well, and no one has got that suspicious of you. So what
Okay.
that's actually done is, if I can change it, we get to add half of your Gambit dice, which was 2. So we get to add 1 to the pig track. Congratulations, which hopefully that will do now. Let me just double check. There we
The
go.
pig
The pig
suspicious
suspicion
track?
track. It's up. Well done.
How big is this track? Do we
I'm
get to know?
No.
Oh, okay. But Tony does reply to this person if the breakup wasn't too dramatic, he'll message something back about like, meet me in the hedge after the cake cutting. But if it was really dramatic, he'll just sort of say, "Heh." When people type HEH into a reply, it's basically like brushing you off, but acknowledging it at the same time.
Yeah, got you. Nice. Yeah. You get a smiley face back. You get a little smiley face, and,
Okay.
and that's it for now. So, but you've got an option open there, and interestingly, you've hit Pig Suspicion Track 1, which means, Ben, your phone starts ringing.
Excellent. I will pull it out and answer it. Find out who it is before I walk away from the other two. In case it's worth them overhearing my side of the conversation, at least.
It has the name that it's saved as is Pigman.
Pigman. In that case, as I pick up the phone, I will just quietly before I pick it up, I say bacon, and then hold the phone up. Hello.
I'm going to try and do a yokel farm accent. Let's see if it goes wrong. Hello, is this John?
Yes, it is.
I've got your pig.
This is excellent news.
I'm just outside the drive to the Whittle Hall, I believe you said.
That's the right one.
I could probably get in to pretend I'm giving a delivery of some of the other chickens and things in the back, if that'd be helpful.
That'd be brilliant. If lay of the land time, if you could bring your vehicle round the back of the building and then walk off towards the kitchen door, but leave the vehicle open, maybe we could sneak around the back, get the pig out and into the coal shed.
All right, that'll do. Okay, Ollie. We'll see you there in about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Perfect.
Okay.
I hang up the phone and immediately light up a smoke because I'm now using it as timer.
Nice. While I stood there...
Reflexively, Tony lights a cigarette as well.
Yeah, just can't help yourselves. So as you're waiting there, you see the sort of the sort of the van with the little trailer on the back sort of comes through the gate, drives straight up. He's obviously been here more than once. He's not stopped or questioned. Oh, Fid's gifting subs. Thank you. You're so kind.
Thanks.
You're so kind. And to
Thanks,
Kelly as well.
subs.
Very
Thank you,
worthy
subs.
recipient. It drives up up to the turning point, but instead of stopping there, it bumps off onto the grass. And the sort of the butler type man at the door doesn't seem to be upset about that. He's obviously heading to the tradesman's entrance. And so he bumps off round to the corner. And you see, as it goes round, you see him stop around the corner. And it has taken about 3.5 minutes to get to that point.
Okay. While this has been happening, I mean, obviously I've been trying to keep an eye on where it is, but more importantly, I've been meandering so that in 4 or 5 minutes I will be in the neighbourhood of the coal shed, so to speak.
Cool.
Trying to look nonchalant and in no way look like I'm paying too much attention to a trailer behind a van.
Is it just you going? Are there 2 or 3 of you going to take ownership of this pig?
I think after those comments on Instagram, Tony might wander off for a bit, leaving them to it, just to we've been seen together a little more than Tony might have liked.
Mhm.
Is that because Tony's playing the field?
Well, no, I mean,
Don't want to be seen around these guys for too long. Don't want to look too interested.
John and I were already hanging out at the coal shed, and then they're heading back to the coal shed. So,
Yeah.
Graham will say to Tony, I saw some of those comments on your post. I'll head around the other way, the other side of the building, and he'll look over to John and say, I'll meet you there.
Cool. Double envelopment. Clearly the way to go here.
Well, classic pincer movement on the pig.
yeah, Tony's actually going to head to see if there is anything to be done with the tables after John's suggestion.
Good call.
Oh, good plan. Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
So Ben, you will get there first, of course, if you're
Okay.
heading over to it. It is as you hoped. It's sort of unlocked at the back. There is a snuffly pig inside. Pigs are always bigger in real life than you think they are going to be.
Yeah.
Always portray smaller. And this is it's going to take a bit of effort and strength and fight to get it to where you need it to be.
All right.
The Farmer Cliff has vanished for now. He's obviously got a couple of chickens.
Before I actually pull open the trailer door, can I pull open the coal shed door first?
Of course you can, yep. You can do that, that's not a problem.
So I don't have to try and open that while manhandling a pig.
Yeah, very good, cool.
I'm not going to try to move the pig until Graham gets to me.
Well, Graham is very strong.
This is my thinking.
Mm.
So I'm going to nonchalantly place myself out, put the wrong side of the van from the purposes of people coming and going through the back door, so that I'm not lurking or not obviously lurking, and just finish off my cigarette and maybe be visibly checking my phone for a message, something that makes people ignore me.
Yeah, that's fine. And you are yep, you're well and truly ignored. That is okay. You're round the side of the you're round the side that's kind of not so visible from the marquee, and that it's not the side that the staff are coming and going from. So that's absolutely fine. You wait there for a while.
Graham will, if he's out of sight of anyone, once he's around the side of the building, he'll, jog a little bit. He's quite excited.
Okay.
Yeah, Socks, it was my fault. They actually, I got it the wrong way around. Scheme track is a good thing, which they're developing on. They've got to 1, which means they're taking delivery of the pig. No one's suspicious yet. I just got it the wrong way around. Ignore me. Okay, so you get round the corner, and there it is, the van. There's the van. There's John. There's a big snuffly pig. in the back.
Okay. As soon as I'm joined, I pull open the door to the little trailer and reveal the pig and say, so plan is pig into little shed.
It's a glorious pig as well.
And
It's
the
a
pig's
glorious pig.
and the pig's name is on a little plaque in the back for help. It responds by name, and only one person knows the pig's name right now, and she's just about to share it with us.
Aha.
Make it so, Socks.
Sir Francis, of course it is.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Francis. We could have gone pig or duck with this. Fantastic. Well, Sir Francis, as soon as the back gate is open, he doesn't run for it or anything, but he definitely comes out sniffling and snorting around, because one of Sir Francis's great characteristics is he's a very curious pig.
A curious pig.
A
Excellent.
curious pig. So he's straight around snorting and snuffling. He's got leftover remains of whatever he's eaten in the back, sort of around his chops. Snorting. He doesn't want to rush off. He's not rushing off anywhere, but he's definitely having a sort of a poke around the edge.
So when you say he, we are in fact talking about a boar.
Oh, a she then. Yeah, it's a pig. We don't want a boar. A pig. A she.
It's
Of
a
course.
sow, not a boar.
A sow.
I've met many a boar at a wedding.
Yeah, we've got enough already.
Again, no names.
Yeah. They tell me there's always a boar at a wedding, but I've never met one. I wonder why.
You don't know who the boar is. Oh. Well, let's get this thing in the coal shed before anyone spots
right.
us.
I'm glad you
well-
asked that, Ewan. I need you to roll a dice. I need you to roll a d6 because you are strong, but you are clumsy.
I am indeed, and I like to lift unstable loads. So,
Is this something I can help with?
Nope.
Okay.
so I imagine I start trying to pick it up just by one end.
Because I'm guessing Ben would be doing his thing, sort of getting that gate, getting the door and trying to like guide it towards it.
Yeah.
He's deadlifting the pig.
That is a 6.
Don't grab those bits;
That's
they're
good or
really
bad?
delicate. On the d6, and then roll the d20, please.
That's a 15.
You are very successful
Wow.
in your lifting.
Nice.
However, I'd like to think at this point, as Ewan is very successfully moving with a 6 as well, which actually fits. So that's going to get added to your scheme track. It's going very nicely.
Oh.
While that happens, and Ewan's sort of Graham's doing all the heavy lifting, Ben is going to have a little flashback to the past about why he's here in the first place.
To set the scene, it's a moment. It's just a fraction of a moment in history, but it's a moment that I remember particularly sharply as I see the pig, manhandled in, and I understand what we're about to do. I'm flashing to this this moment on a badminton court, playing a game with the groom, in a social setting, surrounded by some friends and what have you, and it is literally just after match point, and he's won. I've managed again unaccountably to hit the shuttle out of court, even though I always believed I was much the better player than him. And as he, gets the congratulations of his friends and his bride to be, I reach over and pick up the shuttle, to take it back to the kit bags and everything. And as I do, and I sort of turn it over in my hand, I notice a ball bearing roll out of it onto the court.
Ooh.
I look at it. It's like, you get. And that's the flashback moment.
Oh. Nothing more dastardly than cheating at badminton. I totally understand all your motivations right now. So while he's having this little moment, and Graham's struggling quite well with the pig, while the gate's being, it gets pushed in, and as Ben John sort of shakes it back to reality, he manages to shut the coal shed shut, and you have Sir Francis in a coal shed, snuffling around. You have taken delivery of the pig, and you have in fact manoeuvred the pig into its first position.
Okay.
John, you back with me? What happened?
Sorry,
Oh, I've got a job to do.
just off in a world of my own for the moment. But my resolve is redoubled. I promise you that.
Even from there, you can hear the first of what was no doubt been many at this sort of wedding, the clink, that annoying clinking of a knife on a glass to draw people into whatever the next thing is. And Tony, who is much closer, hears from the best man, reckless Ronnie Reinhardt, the beast with a heart. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, and then sort of growls at Tony a little bit, and others. Please come in, meet the wedding party, for the wedding breakfast is about to be served. And so you can see, even from you guys, as you come around the corner, you can see people filtering into the entrance. And just inside through the doorway, you can see classically the wedding party all lined up, ready to shake hands and welcome people in.
Well, I suppose he said others. That's us, isn't it? Graham will say to John.
Yes. As we walk back, presumably together, roughly towards the marquee, quickest route. Can I ask Graham quickly? I've got this this die. I'm planning to paint a few words on the side of the pig. Is there a word in particular that you'd like me to put on the animal?
There is. Can I I'll send you a message. I assume we've got each other's numbers by this point, and in real life, I'll actually have a little think.
Yep, good.
Remember, there are children at this wedding. they're just gonna be thrilled to see a pig. To be honest.
I mean, to be fair, pigs don't eat children. They're going to be fine.
Pigs don't eat children unless they're trapped in somewhere with them.
True. They'll eventually eat children, but
we don't put any kids in the coal shed. We haven't done anything wrong.
Which, to be fair, I think is basically the rules that our social services in this country follow.
I think Sir Francis's mum is still alive somewhere.
I'm sort of thinking, I doubt it. Those were good sausages last night.
Oh, you don't kill a pig till it's like 500 or 600 pounds. So
yeah.
Tony is the first to the door, of course. Tony, wherever he goes right now, is getting strange looks from some and winks from others, depending on how the relationship's ended.
Oh yeah.
Tony is the first one to go down the line, and you can greet each person as you wish as we go down, Tony. So the first one are the. Let's start with the bride and groom. So the first one there is indeed the bride, the resplendent Hermione Wellington Smythe Merriweather, still in her white dress. It's been pinned up a little bit at the back. First stage of pinning up because it's a bit grassy around. Doesn't want to ruin it.
Mhm.
And she looks at you. Does she know you? Not so much.
If she knows of me,
Okay.
he'll shake her hand warmly and say, "Oh, Hermione, good to see you again." Just sort of like we're not we're not exactly mutuals on Instagram, like, but lately Tony's been tagging her a little bit more often than maybe he should. He's been behaving badly.
Knowing Tony, tagging could mean one of two things.
Classic
All the
Tony.
wedding preparations he's been making, like shopping for his special suit and stuff, like he's been tagging your username.
Okay, for the wedding, yeah.
Hashtag fall wedding, hashtag, gate crash.
Tony, you're trying to make it as an Instagrammer, I see. All the best. Enjoy the meal, and maybe we'll talk later.
Yep.
Pass on to the groom, Henry Merriweather,
who Tony interacts with very awkwardly, like almost like he goes to be blustery, but then he just sort of like gives like a one-handed handshake. Like normally he would do the handshake and then cover with the other hand.
Oh yes.
But this is just like one hand. What's his face? Oh, Jack, how do you do? Congratulations on the hitching up. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you. And he's already looking to the next person.
Yep.
Next one is, of course, the bride's parents. It's Bilbo and Corrine Wellington Smythe. Bilbo's a friendly character, as you'd expect of someone of that name. Corrine seems lovely. I don't know if you know them, but they seem perfectly happy. They give you the smiles, the handshakes.
Lovely service.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Next is the groom's parents, Clark and Maggie Merriweather.
He'll say the same thing, but it's just a little more like wistful. Lovely service. And sort of eyes cast down to the side before he turns away.
Thank you. Clark sort of has to hide a look from. He sort of looks away and looks to Maggie. Thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I hope the weather holds. And now I'm shaking the next course, and then you'll go through the best man, Reckless Ronnie Reinhardt, who's joined the line at that point after inviting everyone in. You're known around the rugby team. It seems, Tony. He gives you a very firm handshake, an overly firm handshake. Thank you for coming, Tony. Thank you for coming.
Can't bear to let go, can you? Gives a wink.
Can you behave, Tony, today? Thank you. Enjoy. Thank you. And then last, you've got the bridesmaids. The ushers are sort of doing their thing around the tables, making sure everything's sort of and everyone's in, so the ushers aren't in the line. The secret handshake, exactly. You've got the bridesmaids. You've got Debbie Clough, of course, the head bridesmaid. And then
Debbie.
Then you've got Marianne Drywall.
Yep.
She's the other bridesmaid. And you've got Camilla Wellington Smythe, who's 18. She's younger. She's the sister of the bride, the youngest.
Tony ignores the 18-year-old completely. But he does say to Debbie, I know someone's looking forward to seeing you today. And
she's like, what? Oh. Oh, okay, thanks. Well, have a lovely time. Look on the board over there for your table number. In fact, I can bring up the interior now when you were here. As you can see, table 1 is the head table. Table 2 and 3 is very much sort of the family and the ushers and things like that. The head table, of course, is the bride and groom, the parents, the best man, and the head bridesmaid. Ushers, close family, are 2 and 3. 4 and 5 are sort of friends. 7 is where you guys are at. You are very much on table 7.
Sounds fair.
Those sort of rectangles
next
with the lines.
To the kitchen. Go figure.
The rectangles with the lines in are sort of the entryways in and out of the marquee and between it. Okay. The food prep's in a portioned off area, fully portioned off. The bar just has the bar there, and sort of you can see the drinks bottles along the side. So you're definitely on the Bad Kids table. You're the first person that you do see that John and Graham are at the table with you. Excellent. Along with a name you recognise, Reverend Wolf Huckleton is on the table with you.
How'd you wind up back here?
I don't know. He's nowhere. He's not around yet.
Okay.
But he's back down the line. But you'll be the first to table 7. So
Fantastic. Yeah, Tony immediately like kind of lifts the tablecloth and kind of looks around. He's looking at the legs, but he's like pretending he's feeling underneath the table.
Mhm.
Yep.
Seeing how sturdy the table is, how able you are to like attach something to the legs without it just like slipping right down.
that's good. It's a trestle table. Some of these wedding marquees, they're quite weak tables because they're
Mhm.
sort of they're made to be put up and taken down quite a lot. But this is now a marquee that's pretty much a permanent fixture. Like the bar has the optics. It's not just bottles on the side. They're set up in the racks on the optics. The tables are pretty decent for a wedding table. They're pretty sturdy.
Mhm.
You could, with enough effort or cutting, you could get through a leg, but you can lean on it without it shaking around too much.
But they have tablecloth.
Oh, they absolutely do, and it reaches down. When you sit down, it goes well below where your knees are. It's almost brushing the floor. Very white tablecloth. Lots of plates
Okay.
on top, of course. You've got 2 bottles of red and 2 bottles of white on the table. There's space for 8 at each table.
Tony's gonna try to casually take like a hair tie out of his pocket. Don't ask why he has those, and and kind of like get used on just one leg, kind of like put it around the tablecloth, so like it's at least stiff on one side if the pig runs into it, and
Okay.
see how that goes. Like if that's got a good
Okay.
tension to it,
Hmm.
at some point he's gonna try to do that to a couple other tables.
I like your thinking.
Okay.
Nice one. So you're there as you're waiting. The other 2 turn up and join the line, sort of midway down the line. The first one between the 2, they let a couple of people somehow slip between the 2 of them. So Graham and John have indeed been separated. The first one is Graham, who enters the tent, and the first one up is the bride, Hermione. I don't know how you want to greet her, but she's very neutral with you. She's more interested in close friends and family, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure. He'll just do the casual. Oh, you look very lovely today.
Thank you for coming. Not everyone can pull off shorts at a wedding.
No, of course. And thank you very much for your help with my business. He'll move on.
No, you're welcome. Thank you. And then she immediately turns to the next person. The next one up is Henry Merriweather, the groom. Graham, thank you for coming.
My pleasure. You're a lucky man. Keep hold of that one.
I fully intend to. And he turns to the next person. Next one up is the bride's parents, Bilbo and Corinne Wellington Smythe. Bilbo smiles at you.
Bilbo.
Bilbo, old friend. Graham.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. What a day, eh? What a day, Graham.
Wonderful service.
I'm glad you could join us, and hopefully you've put everything behind you, and we can have a lovely afternoon.
Indeed.
I'll buy you a drink later, but I won't take you for a dance. Maybe Corinne will.
Oh.
Corinne sort of smiles. So if you're lucky. And then it's the groom's parents, Clark and Maggie. They're less friendly, of course. They don't know you so well. Thank you.
He'll hold out his hand and shake his hand with a Penn used motors business card in. Pleasure to meet you. Remember, Penn used motors.
Clark takes it, looks at it, puts it in his pocket, and Maggie sort of slaps his hand as he's doing it. Not here. Come on. He sort of winks at you, says, "Yeah, I might give you a call actually." And then you've got the best man, reckless Ronnie Reinhardt, who thrusts his hand out. Another firm handshake.
Yeah, he gets a business card.
His hands up. Thanks, I guess. Enjoy your afternoon.
We do minibuses as well for team travel.
Interesting. We do have some long journeys coming up. I may be in touch. You may have some business from us. And then finally, it's the bridesmaids, Debbie Thumper Clough, Mary Ann Drywall, and Camilla Wellington Smythe. They'll sort of smile and sort of offer their hands a bit
Are you-
warily after all the business cards
Yeah.
appear.
He'll do the same. He'll business card each of them. You look lovely. You look lovely. And when he gets to the 18-year-old, we've got a good selection of first cars for new drivers.
She sort of smiles at you. She's a lovely girl, but she's quite spoiled. But she's lovely. She says, "It's okay. Daddy's already got me one for when I pass my test next month, hopefully. But thank you." And that's it. You go see that you are indeed at table 7, and only Tony and Reverend Wilf Huckleton are at the table.
He'll walk up and he'll sort of look around for his name tag, and he'll try and make a point of clocking the name tag for Tony and say, "Oh, hello, Tony, Reverend, hello," and sit down at the table.
Thank you.
Oh, Reverend, if you're in the market for a new car, he gets a business card.
He looks at it. He goes, "Oh, the Lord truly does provide. I've been praying about a good place to find a new car." Thank you, and this is most interesting. Please tell me more about how your business is going. And then it fades away at that point, I guess, as you sort of go into it. And it fades back to John, who's made his entrance. And first up is Henry. No, it's the bride, isn't it? Hermione Wellington Smythe.
Best wishes.
Thank you for coming. Please, I hope you enjoy the food and the entertainment later on. The groom, Henry Merriweather.
Congratulations, Henry. I hope you have a truly memorable day with all your friends and family looking on.
So
Oh, come on.
he gives a like quite an overconfident smile at you, I guess. He goes, "Thank you so much for coming, John. Very, very pleased to have you here, and it would be wonderful to talk about our old competitions and my victories in the past at some point if we get a chance. Please enjoy the rest of the day."
You too. Yes.
I will. I'm looking forward to it. Apparently, my best man said that he really wanted a hog roast today, but I said, "Can't have such a beast here at this kind of wedding."
I don't know. I think if you weren't supposed to eat pigs, they wouldn't be made out of sausages and bacon. But that's just me.
Well, anyway, thank you. Enjoy your meal. Next up, the bride's parents, Bilbo and Corrine.
Lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. You'll like the band. I think they're fantastic. Very jazzy.
I'm sure they'll be excellent.
Next up, the groom's parents, Clark and Maggie.
Lovely to see you. What a lovely day.
It is. Thank you. It's been a wonderful time. I hope the weather holds off.
I think we're going to be lucky.
It should be a splendid evening, I hope. The best man, reckless Ronnie Reinhardt.
Good grip.
He slaps you hard on the shoulder. He knows what you and Henry have been through in the past, of course. He's Henry's best friend for a long time. Good to see. They're looking. Have you put some muscle on? You're looking almost look like you're filling out that suit. We could get you down to practice sometime. They show you a real man's sport.
Thank you, but I'm sure Henry must have told you I'm not the sportsman I once was.
Well, none of us are. We're only in Division 1 this year instead of the championship.
How the mighty have fallen.
We'll be back there again. Gives you another big clap on the arm, almost to like force you along the line away from him.
You know,
And he's
no matter how down you think you are, there's always more down.
yes. Rupert, my friend, how are you? Lovely to see you. That's away he goes. And then you've got the bridesmaid, Debbie Thumper Clough, Mary Ann Drywall, and Camilla Wellington Smythe.
Oh, Debbie, you look magnificent.
I need you to roll a dice, please. Because as you sort of reach out your hands, you have got a certain amount of muddiness on your hands.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to roll a. It's only tangentially related to the pig, so a D4, please.
A D4. Okay.
Yeah.
Pig adjacent.
It's pig adjacent. It's a pig adjacent.
Pig
dice,
adjacent.
not a full dice. Because you're basically if people are watching, basically someone always has to make a roll when they're doing something that is their weakness, I guess. So Ewan's was carrying the pig, which is strength, but he's got clumsiness, so there was a chance it could have gone wrong.
And that was a 2.
Thank you. Tony Sparrow has a lot of X's, so had to make a roll when sort of taking a photo because a lot of people would see it there. And for John Ben, he fancies the head.
You gotta let him know how good I look.
Exactly, and it worked out well. What can you say? You got messages back. So
Yeah.
so, yeah. There's gonna be some more X's by the next wedding. A 2, Ben. Okay, roll a D20, please.
A D20. Okay. That is an 19.
Oh, it's good. She sort of looks down at the dirt, and she's like, "You've been exploring already?"
Oh, no, it's just the last person I touched was a rugby player.
Ah, that would explain it. I can't stand them. Not they're too. That lot especially. Some rugby players are lovely, but those are just too uncouth. I like a man that's more refined.
You never know where they've been.
You don't. Shower together.
Tony
I've
knows where
heard.
they've been.
Where? How are you doing anyway?
Oh, I'm genuinely feeling really good today, actually. You know, one of those moments where you feel all optimistic about the future. How about you?
It's been a lovely day. I'm hoping that I'll be catching the bouquet later, of course, and I'm enjoying spending time with my friend Marianne. Have you met Marianne? She's a lovely girl. She's single at the moment.
No, I'm not familiar, but it would be nice to see you catch the bouquet.
Debbie sort of already turned on to the next person, and Marianne's taking a lot of interest in you at this point. Hello, are you? You're John. How are you? It's lovely to see you, John.
Yes, nice to see you. Marianne, was it?
It is Marianne. Yes, you remembered my name. Thank you.
Well, to be fair, it was only a few seconds ago I heard it.
Well, you know, I spend so much time around people that don't remember my name even for that long.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me.
Oh, well, let's go straight over, Ed. Maybe we could have a dance later.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, maybe we could sort of start something where I get to dance with all of the bridesmaids. Wouldn't that be nice?
I'm going to make you roll again. I'm making you roll again for being an absolute toe rag. I need to give you a head up. The scheme track did go up because you managed to get out of it. You rolled so well that she didn't spot. You sort of laughed it off with that, which means it's absolutely fine.
I thought my excuse was pretty funny as well.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
That's
why. That is why it's gone so well. So let me just update that. But I need you to roll another D4 because the weakness is still. She's sort of seen the dirt on your hands and a bit of straw maybe, but sort of at the bottom of your trouser leg. And she's not. She's a bit more attentive because she's more interested, if that makes sense. And because it ties into you being so much in love with the best bridesmaid, the head bridesmaid.
Absolutely.
So yeah, give me another D4, please.
That's another 2, I'm afraid.
And a D20.
And a D20. This can only go worse, can't it?
Really? It can't go too much better.
Hopefully not worse than the 2, though.
Well, you say that.
Oh, no. A 2.
well, that's okay. It's equal.
Um,
It's gotta be good.
that is a failure.
You know, you don't say.
She sort of looks at. She sort of looks down, looks at you funny, and there's this moment of silence. That everything goes really silent for a second, and then there's just a weird. Sir Francis must be quite loud in there because there's suddenly a bit of a bashing against the coal shed door. It's a bit metallic. The door itself's a bit metallic, and you can hear it across ground. There's a bit of a bum 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 bum. And she has a minute. She's like, "What's that? What's that noise?"
Sounds like thunder.
Clouds are still too far away, surely.
Yeah, I don't know. They can carry a long way. Or it could be something from inside the house, I suppose.
Perhaps you're right. It's very busy in there today. Anyway, I hope to see you on the dance floor later. I'll hunt you down. I'll hunt you out. That sounds a bit aggressive. I'll hunt you out.
Yes, I'm sure we'll bump into each other.
I hope so. So she lets you go, and you head to the board. You see, wait, you're already guessing where you're going to be sitting, but it does indeed tell you you're at table 7. I could have put you at table 2 just for a laugh, but you are indeed at table 7. And the table's filling up. It's not just the two of them there. There's the photographers. So you're on the photographer's table. It's always my favourite table at a wedding. If you're not at the top, be right down with the photographer. The photographer's always working, so there's always more wine available. It's great. The photographer's a lady by the name of Jenny Carmichael. She's you can tell because she's there and her gear's there, but she sort of smiles at you, and then she's immediately up again taking photos of the line. She's dumped her stuff and she's gone. There's 3 more people there. I'm willing to take names from the peanut gallery. There's 3 more. So keep them rolling in. I'll name them as they come. But it's definitely filling up, and yeah, you're there at the table. And the head table, of course, is empty at the minute, but all the others are probably about 2/3 full now.
Sure.
Bars open. People are coming to and fro.
I will, meander over, take my seat, and then look around and say hello to the Reverend.
Hello.
Cast a glance across to Tony, and sort of if there's a line where Tony and I can see below the table, but nobody else could, if you know what I mean. If we're on the same side-ish, I'll give a quick thumbs up below the tabletop to indicate that the pig is in situ.
Tony will immediately take his phone out, message, "She looks great today, right?" And send that to John.
I need to write some names down.
Which I think at this time Graham has probably spent the whole time, because he's an older gentleman, trying to send a text message to John with what he wants written on the pig, and he would he'll send a text message over that says, put pen used motors if you can fit it on the pig.
Okay.
Also, when if we release the pig in the marquee, I want to be inside.
I assume you mean the marquee, not inside the pig.
Because
And in about 20 minutes' time, you'll get a message back saying yes.
Okay.
As you're texting, the man who is sat on the other side of Ben, of John, leans over and sort of shakes his hand very firmly. He says, pleased to meet you. My name is William Weston. I've written it down really badly. William Weston Wingback. William Weston Wingback. Oh, it sounds like I'm Jonathan Ross. William Weston Wingback. And this is my This is my partner, Carlotta Dabadoo. Carlotta Dabadoo.
I'm sorry, what?
Carlotta Dabadoo.
Bless you.
Thank you. And I'm William Weston Wingback. And you, priest, Reverend. I'm Reverend Wilf Huckleton. Okay, so it's Wilf Huckleton, William Weston Wingback, and Carlotta Dabadoo.
One of
Bless
the
you.
Western wingbacks.
No, one of the Wingback Western Wingbacks.
Oh, one of those. Okay, yeah.
Oh, socks.
the
Tony just shakes his head in American, like, oh, okay.
shakes his head in American. I quite like that. The other person.
Weirdly, I can picture that.
The other person at the table is quiet. It's a lady. You do recognise her, actually. A younger lady. Her name is Deanna Smythe. She is sort of. She's one of the. She's related to the bride, Hermione Wellington Smythe, and she's sort of the half sister. So she's Bilbo's daughter from a previous wedding.
Okay.
But she had a big falling out with half of her family, and so they invited her as a way to smooth things over, I guess. But she's been very much put on the table of weirdos.
Of course.
So, of course.
Yeah. But that was full, so they put her with us.
Yeah, exactly. Table 6 was always rammed. You can see table 6; they've got their ties up already around their head.
Yeah. They're the
Cheering each other.
lunatic people.
Drink. The
That's why
rugby
they're
team,
near the
basically.
stage. They're supposed to cheer loudly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh,
We're just gonna leer rather than cheer. So,
Is she looking like she's having a good time?
She's very much keeping herself. So she's sipping a white wine, and she's smiling at the chat. She's happy to sort of be around you guys. She feels the more that you're all talking, she feels more relieved that she's on a chatty table that isn't full of lariness, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She loves William Weston Wingback's name, Carlotta Dabadoo. It's the first time she's ever heard it. She sort of allows herself a smile, but quite a cute sort of smile by herself. And she just seems quite happy where she is, but it's not like she's being part of the main proceedings, if that makes sense.
Graham will agree to it and say, "Oh, Diana, it's been far too long. I'm glad to see you're here." I assume he'll know the general backstory, being friends with good old Bilbo.
Graham Penn, father's friend.
Yes.
Wow. How are you doing? It's been a while.
It has indeed. You've certainly changed much more than I have over these years.
Well,
Mostly due to.
I have
how
had my
old I
hair
am.
cut shorter, and I'm wearing a different lipstick recently. It's nice that you noticed. How is the used car business?
Well, it's been pretty grim since the Instagram incident, I'll admit. But things are looking up. I'm sure. Any day now. How are you?
I'm okay. There's a lot of bridges have been mended, and I'm back local again. So I thought I'd come along. I'll be honest. I'm more surprised that you're here after all that happened. And at that point, Graham drifts off for a moment.
Are we flashing back?
So, well, you are.
There's we flash back to a scene of Bilbo and Graham sat in Bilbo's house by a fireplace in some big wingback chairs, I imagine, with a glass of something in hand. And Bilbo asks him how the business is going, and Graham says to him, "Well, I'll be honest, we're not seeing much growth. I've been advised by some people that we need a real social media presence for the business, but I just our generation, I just don't know where to begin." And Bilbo says, "Well, it's funny you should mention that. My my daughter is quite big on Instagram. I'm sure she could help you out and do something for you. And Graham says, "Look, that would be spectacular, Bilbo. As if I didn't owe you enough already." And then we fade away.
Just hinting at things.
Oh,
Oh, the intrigue. And at that point, as Ewan sort of, so Graham's thoughts are like clanged back into present day by more clinging, cling, 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 cling on the glass. And the best man stands up, old reckless Ronnie Reinhardt. And he says, if everyone could take their seats, the bride, take a seat, thank you very much. And everyone takes their seat. Just to be annoying, he's like, haha, now can you all please stand? The bride and groom are making their way to the seat to sit down, and then we shall begin.
okay. This man definitely deserves the pig as well.
Give him the pig. And so you sort of huffingly pull yourself up as the couple come in, and then the rugby team are hooray, and sort of family sort of clapping and everything. You know, cling, 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 kiss, 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 all that sort of stuff that everyone does.
While we're sitting back down, Tony's gonna like sort of scoot his chair back to table 5 a little and attach a hair tie there using his close-up magic skills.
Oh, the close-up magic skills. I'm
Yeah, a
liking
little
it.
sleight of hand.
I'm going to combine this in a roll because although that's using this is something that links to a plot, so I
Yeah.
think we can do that. The close-up magic skills, but of course your weakness is, you know, a lot of X's at this wedding, and there's at least one at table 5. And so while you're really good,
Ooh.
they're just happy to see you. This X is quite happy to see you. So as you lean in to click it on,
Yeah.
I need you to rake a D4 roll. They have no
Okay.
idea why you're there, but they've spotted you there.
Okay. That's a 1.
Oh dear. And could you roll a D20, please?
I mean, I can. Do I want
I
to?
think
A
we know
19?
that low is bad.
This can get you out. This can get you out of trouble. The D20 can get you out of trouble potentially.
19.
Ooh.
Okay, that's good. It's not a big success because, of course, you rolled a 1.
Mhm.
But they didn't spot what you were doing, mostly because they were just so happy to see you. And your close-up
Oh,
magic
yeah.
is good, right? You're a humble man. You'd never say it yourself, but it's good. And
Yeah. Okay, so if they see Tony and kind of make a big deal of it, like excited face, as soon as he's finished quickly putting the hair tie around the table leg, he'll like pull like a really delicate little like actually pretty fake flower out of his sleeve and like hand it toward them.
so smooth. They take it and they sort of make a show of sniffing the fake flower, and says, "Tony, you haven't changed. You haven't changed a bit. I miss you."
What's the change? I mean, we should hang out sometime.
Yeah, maybe I can buy you a drink later.
Sounds great.
Yeah, fantastic. And sort of they smile and sort of
Save me a dance.
oh, don't you worry. Your name is top of my list. And they put their flower in the empty wine glass, the one they're not drinking from, in front of them, and they sort of like give a little thingy as you head back to your table. And you got away with it. It's placed. They haven't noticed it at all. And the scheme track, because you only rolled a 1, the scheme track has only gone up a little bit, but you're getting closer to the next step of the scheme. And as everyone sits back down again and the food starts to come out, it feels like a nice chance to take a break. So I really need a costume change.
Okay.
Okay, an actual costume change.
Is that okay?
My
And then
cats are going to keep screaming at me if I don't give them food. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll take a 5 minute. Yeah,
Cool.
take 5 minutes. I
Yes,
think
brilliant.
even if we don't finish it today, because we never finish one shots in one, it would be nice to run for at least another 45 minutes after, if everyone's okay with that. And then we'll
Yep.
sort of-
Yeah,
cool,
that's good
fantastic.
for me.
Cool, nice one. So we're going to take a 5-minute break, everyone. So please feel free to, but please come back or hang around, and we'll see what happens as the wedding continues. This does feel like a lot like a Midsummer Murders, and I'm totally here for that.
It certainly does.
I know exactly what you mean. I was just thinking it was like a Jonathan Creek.
We should
Yeah.
play at least long enough for Tony to reveal his.
Oh, we definitely, yes, tonight, definitely. That'd be a lovely thing to make sure we get done. Cool. Okay, right. Intro, and we're going to fade out. Cheers, guys, and we will be back in a short amount of time. Welcome back to Boys from the Baltic Star, and welcome back to Pig at a Wedding, the event of the year. It is, as people have been saying, like a mix of Jonathan Creek, Midsummer Murders. It does feel like some of the stalwarts of English TV should turn up at some point. A David Tennant cameo, maybe at the karaoke later, might help. Ewan is indeed ready for the second part of tonight. I haven't even eaten yet, you.
That's how it goes at weddings.
He's up for the.
Go hard or go home.
He's like everyone's favourite uncle. He's gonna be getting the underage kids a drink. It's all right. It's all right. Your mum's okay with it.
Oh, that's a good call, Luke.
Yeah. I haven't seen any fears. Here's a £5 for some sweets. Don't worry about it. Sorry. Oh, you shouldn't have done, Uncle. No, it's okay. It's okay. I had a good winning at the dogs last night. It's okay. Anyway, so we're back to the second part for this evening of the wedding. Everyone has sat down for the food to come out, of course, and our three. I'm going with heroes, although trying to ruin someone's. Well, they're not nice people, I guess.
Anti-heroes.
Anti-heroes. Our three anti-heroes. All right, don't build it up that much. You're not the Punisher. Or maybe you are. You're punishing them.
That is, in fact, exactly what he is.
So, on table 7, John Blandings, Graham Penn with tie round head. Sex fiend Tony Eustace.
I have a lot of love to give, okay?
The Reverend Will Huckleton. The busy photographer Jenny Carmichael. Estranged daughter of the bridal family, Deanna Smythe. And interesting couple, William Weston Wingback and Carlotta Dabadoo are sat ready to eat. Now, the problem is, of course, you're table 7, which means you're last to get your food. And so you get tucked into the booze or whatever, and you see a line of serving staff walking past out of the food prep area door, past the stage and up to the head table. And what they're doing is, it's quite a fancy place. So instead of people having to order beforehand, I'll have the chicken, I'll have the whatever.
Mhm.
The first couple of people are bringing up a few menus for you to browse over. And the idea is that as soon as they've got that order, they'll go back and the food will come out ready to go. It's coming from the main house to the food prep area and coming out. Hopefully they've got what you want when they get to you. You've not even seen the menu yet. However, while you sat and sort of hanging out, the groom, Henry Merriweather, suddenly stomps to his feet, very angry, looking at the menu, and he sort of glares at his new bride, Hermione, and said, I told you I'm having no pork at this wedding, and what is this? One of the options on this is pork. Didn't I tell you? Hermione, did I tell you? So she's like, Henry, I've had a lot on my mind. I've planned everything. You've done nothing. You've been out drinking with your mates every night. I've done everything for this. So don't you start moaning at me now, all right? You don't have to have it. You can have the trout. You can have the chicken, all right? But don't ruin the day. Sit down. And sort of, he goes to strop off, but his best man, Reckless Ronnie Reinhardt, and Nicholas Thresher come and sort of calm him down a little bit. Bring him a beer. They're not on the wine. They're on the beers, of course, in the bar. They bring him a beer, set him down. Say, oh, look, it's all right, mate. It's all right. It's all right. Have the chicken. I'm sure they'll do a big lot for you. All right. Don't worry about it, mate. Come on. He sort of, shrugs himself forwards a bit, muttering under his breath, and sits back down again.
Graham will look around the table and say, "Well, I mean, all due respect, that's not the kind of behaviour you'd expect from Reckless Ronnie. He de-escalated that quite well, I feel."
Yeah, that Henry.
Yeah. I'm sort of slightly sotto voce, but enough so the table can hear. Gonna say, yeah. You think steroids?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. Tony says a little too louder than he intended to.
Carlotta Dabadoo giggles a bit too loud at this point. And William says, "Well, that's that's classic Emery. I'm only here because of Bilbo and Kareen.
Mhm.
You know, there's no way I'll be here otherwise. He is a right prig.
Mm.
Did you say a pig? Sorry.
Let's make a roll.
Oh no! I mean,
Also,
wasn't
guns
even
out. The
using
music
it.
stopped working again for some reason. Sorry, Ali. I can't hear the John Cena music. It was working earlier.
It was all right last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That's weird.
It's very strange.
Does it only play the first music that's chosen for the night?
No, it shouldn't do. But Blurp updated. I
Mhm.
loaded it, reloaded it up today, and it's updated the site and that. So I'm going to have to uninstall it and reinstall it. I think ready for next week. So, but at least I haven't got to see my guns. But anyway, so yes. Did you say Ben
Oh, we're
resplends?
doing resplends.
Ben can resplend.
He
I
does.
can't get the music.
He
I
does
have to
indeed.
resplend. I can resplend. Hang on a second. trying to remember which way I do this.
You can look at Ewan's screen for reference.
There he is.
Excellent.
Nice. Classic Ben and Greyhound.
Mm.
Good resplending that. Where were we at? Oh, it's my job to know where we were at.
Did you
Yeah.
say pig?
Oh yeah, did you say pig? Did you say pig? Okay, roll a d4, please. It's only 10. It's related to a pig, but they don't know anything about a pig.
Yeah, I mean pork has just been mentioned. I
That is
feel
true.
it's-
Mm.
That's 2.
He's already coming up with his excuse. Well, pork was mentioned. Okay, yep. Roll a d20, please.
It's a 19.
Ooh,
19s tonight.
we're getting a lot of 19s.
Fortunate
This is
amount
great.
of 19s.
Very good. So, in fact, what you're quick thinking of saying, well, I did just mention pork. He sort of, William lets out a hearty, ha 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 ha. So they did, good man. So they did. Lovely. Another glass of the claret, if you don't mind. And sort of he pours himself another one. Your scheme check's getting to 12, which is good. It's moving on
Ooh.
closer. You'll only be able to go out of that when you set up something. So the next step is setting up something complex but vital, which is something you would do anyway. It's just that's something that you'll need to do to move beyond that scheme track at some point.
Cool.
But there's no rush, of course. The food isn't even with you yet.
Mm.
And of course, Tony has been testing the waters, as it were, in more ways than one, I feel. So slowly, you're welcome to bring things up, but I'll just say what the servers are doing. Sort of they bring up the food to one. Do you want to know what looks good?
Can off the end of that conversation, can Graham just have a little look around and he'll sort of openly speak to the table? Well, seems as though there's a lot of ways in and out of this place. I've seen a lot of entrances and exits. Do you think they're planning for lots of people to leave en masse?
I think that's pretty standard for a wedding.
I don't. It's
Man.
been a long time since I've been to a wedding.
Mm.
Certainly one of this magnitude.
Yeah, I don't get invited to a lot of them either.
No.
I'm surprised though. I mean, you provide so much comfort to new families. You think you'd be invited?
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Mm.
And Tony's totally sincere. He's not digging at you.
Yes, I'm gonna get up and take the opportunity before they come to the table to hand us our menus, and because they haven't reached us yet, have they?
No, they haven't. No, they're probably, the menus have made it to table 3, and the food is coming out to table 1.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick lap of the tent, just literally nodding and smiling to people and saying hi and what have you as I go around. I have 2 sort of ulterior motives. One is to catch a glimpse of my theoretical paramour as I wander past past table one. But the other is
The lady.
I
Right.
want to do a little bit of very subtle recce. So I want to check out the bar area first of all, because I tend to agree with Graham. There are a lot of potential entrances here. I want to find out if it would be easy for people to get out through the entrance at the back of the bar. And I'm sort of hoping that the bar is a fairly sturdy piece of equipment, firmly planted, and that it doesn't have an easy route to the exit behind it. That, in essence, the people working behind the bar come in and out through the little entrance at the back. If you see what I mean.
Okay. So, should we take? We'll take you anti-clockwise then.
Sure.
Yeah? That's so you get out from your table 7, and you sort of start wandering around. You do see the door directly to the north. It's still quite warm, so it's where the rest of it is that sort of it's quite thick material, but the doors are material, but more on like they're hooked, but with like a slidey bit you can slide back.
Yep.
And they can be then they can be tied either fully back or half back. And it's been slid back sort of half. When you first got in, they're all wide open, which you noticed, but you didn't look at anymore. But now they're sort of half slid back and loosely tied to give a nice droopy effect.
Yep.
And through it, you can see it's open ground behind. Then you've got some porter cabin toilets. Nice looking porter cabin toilets, to be fair. I've been to ones in weddings with like up lighting and music playing. It's all very nice. Fake stone effects on the laminate. So they look quite pleasant out there. A couple of blocks for women, a couple of blocks for men, and then around to the side of that is all those sort of old outhouses and sheds, sort of that sort of area, the sheddage area. That's what you can see through there, just at a customary glance. And then, of course, right out to the right, beyond the toilets, is the maze. So that's out there. You continue walking past. Table 5 is quite a quiet table. It appears to be the bride's friends. They're a bit giggly, but they're not leery in any way, shape, or form. They're sort of well turned out generally. Quite Instagrammy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's mostly photos of themselves with the wine, but they're not causing leeriness. You get to the bar. It is indeed a hey Uber Geek Media. Thank you for raiding. I was looking at our stats the other day actually, and you've done this before. You're like one of our you raid or you come along every now and again. We really thank you for that. Appreciate it. Have a little. It's a wedding theme, so have a wedding heart from us. Thank you for the raid. We do appreciate it.
Thank
Please
you very
stay for the
much.
wedding. Take a seat. It's a free bar. It's not a free bar, but there's free wine. The menus are coming around, so please enjoy it. We're trying to hide a pig to ruin someone's day.
Have a mimosa.
Have a mimosa. They're available. But see, they're coming out.
Sorry, Luke, just quickly, which was the table with all the Instagrammers
5.
at?
Table 5 is
Table
Instagrammers.
5. I'll definitely be avoiding that table.
Yeah, all the.
One
No
of those
offense,
people has especially
Instagrammers.
flushed cheeks.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's sort of a mix. It's sort of it's like six girls, couple of guys, kind of. It's kind of that sort of mix. Very, all very pretty and handsome kind of characters. The bar is indeed pretty solid. It's not as solid as like a pub bar, but you've been to weddings where it's pretty much a bit of MDF. It's not that, and it reaches all the way down to the floor. It's nice. It's got some underlighting again underneath, and it has got the flap at one side, but it's the flap and also the door on a latch. So you'd have to lift the flap and have the door open to get through. So it's got some solidity.
And if it's just the width of a hatch, so to speak, it would be single file going through that.
Yeah. Like
so in a crisis, people wouldn't be able to flee through that very quickly.
No. They would you could jump yourself over the bar. It's a normal bar height, so it's sort of depending on how tall you are, it's between waist and chest, I guess. But yeah, and then at the back is all the optics and so on. There's a couple of people working behind there. There's a couple of people standing there. They don't want the wine, so a couple are getting the cocktails. One from the table 5 is getting a mimosa, of course, a very photographic drink.
Of
couple
course.
a couple of rugby guys are getting beers, getting like a few in at once, and they've
I mean-
actually got proper types. Hello, seasonal bar, by the way. Thanks. Yeah. That is a door at the back, which is what the bar staff are using.
Yep.
they've-
Okay.
It's you see it open as one of them goes through. They've got just outside the back. There's a little pile of crates and throwaways, and then they've got their van beyond that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I shall continue my recce by wandering around and trying to surreptitiously take in the visage of my ideal woman.
Table two's family. It's mostly his. We'll just go through. Table two is his family. You go past. You can look across. Table three is her family. Table four is kind of like your ushers and bridesmaids and their sort of close friends and family. And table six is the Larry table.
Okay.
So you can hear them. They're the ones coming to and from the bar, sort of with the beers. You go past table two, which is his family. Are you walking past the front of table one or going behind them?
I'm going to cut between 1 and 2, and then 1 and 3, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you wander down that bit, doing your hellos and smiles.
Yeah.
Of course. As you walk past, you get a few. Table one are eating now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Table two are at that point where they're waiting for food. They've given their food back on the menu, so they sort of look up at you, a couple of smiles, a couple of responses to hellos, and then you get level with where your ideal woman is.
Fantastic. I'm playing it very cool.
Yeah, of course.
But there is a slight danger I might accidentally walk into someone while staring at her. But I'm not planning to actually stop. You understand? So my plan is to take in the view and then hang a sharp left after table 3.
Mm-hmm.
Cut across in front of the stage.
Yeah.
And aim literally for the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
And then I want to just stand by the doorway through into the food prep area, and from the literal extreme to the bottom right corner, right by the doorway, but enough back that I don't get bumped into by accident.
Yeah.
And just cast a glance through into the food prep area and see how it's laid out and what's going on there.
Okay. So you go past table one, sort of trying to play it cool. You risk half a glance over, but pretending you're looking at the decorations behind. And then at the corner of your eye, you sort of catch a look. So you suck your stomach in a little bit. The chest goes out a little bit. She's just eating her food, and she's not paid any attention. As you walk past table 3, you sort of accidentally catch the eye of Mary Ann Drywall, who gets very excited. She's like, "Oh, hey, we still good for later? We still good? We still good for $1 later?"
Yeah, sure.
Oh, fantastic. And she goes back to her menu. You walk past the stage. You duck as a spray of beer goes up in the air from table 6 as one of them's managed to get the base of a whole pint glass in his mouth, upside down, and he's trying to carry it there, and then someone makes him laugh, and he's and then the beer goes everywhere. So, and then you head down to the bottom corner, and there are people coming and going, and there's a bit of grumpiness, of course, as they come through and nearly bang into you. At this moment, the curtain is pulled back halfway. There still has to be a bit of mystery behind the stage, of course, as it were. But if you stand in that corner, it's done that way so people can't see in, but where you're standing, you can.
Okay.
It's an area in it. There's all around the two very empty edges trestle tables, much less fancy than in there, with sort of plates on, the food on. There's some heaters, some heating. You'd get in restaurants where the food stays under heat to stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
under there, and then you see a couple people coming through that back door, put a couple of plates on there with the food on, so that when the servers come, they can take out the food and take it through.
I'm with you.
In the middle, there's a small table, smaller than one of the circle tables, but it's just got extra bits and pieces, like cutlery, sauces, pepper, salt, things that people might ask for. And then that top left corner is where all the stuff like the blue roll and stuff, cleaning up stuff. A couple of spare tablecloths are piled up in crates and that. It's sort of a well-oiled machine. The other door is wide open, and of course through there you can see again the toilets at a distance through there, and then sort of the outhouses far behind the maze, and they're coming directly from the right. They're pretty much coming from where the bunting line.
Yep.
They're pretty much heading straight that way back to.
Yep, I'm with you. Okay. For the moment, I've seen all I need, so I'm going to just wander back to the table. But as I sit down, I'm going to pull the phone out and send a text to Tony to say, is there anything you want me to write on the pig?
Tony looks at the message. He sighs, just like I did, and then he puts the phone back in his pocket and looks thoughtful.
Okay. The only other thing I think I need to do right now is I'm looking for if there is a hierarchy of servers. Is there somebody who's coming and going regularly in the tent who sort of seems to be directing the others as to where to go, which table to go to next, who to approach, that kind of thing? Is there somebody who seems to be the team lead of the table servers?
There is. So they're all in like a white shirt, the white shirt, black trousers kind of thing. A blue apron tied around their waist with the logo of the Hall of Whittle Hall, little WH.
And then you get a message back. It's very sudden. Like, you didn't even see him take the phone out of his pocket. And it just says, in quotes, "Red, 8:25 a.m."
Really? Red, 8:25 a.m.
READ.
Yep.
Oh, good stuff. In fact, yes, that is good. So you do see, Ben, you see someone that instead of just the white and the black and the blue apron, also is wearing a waistcoat over the top, a dark blue waistcoat, and is very much telling people, we need another 2 chicken, we need another pork. No, that plate not for them. We're doing that. But he has just gone back out through the food prep area.
That's fine. I just need to pick him for later because I may need to ask him a favor at some point, if you see what I mean.
While you're doing that, sorry, I'm just writing something down. Tony feels a tap on his shoulder from the Instagram table, and there's two of the girls are there. And they're like, Tony, come and do some magic for our channel. Just something short, so we can, like wedding magic. Just a little trick. Come on.
Oh,
Tony.
yeah. He stands up and he kind of puts his hands in his pocket and like shakes them a little, like, oh, that's what I'm here for, right?
Tony, come on. And so they sort of hold the camera up and sort of frame and use you whatever trick you want to do. I don't know if you want to describe it or not.
Yeah. So he does some pretty like standard warm-up stuff, like, the coin behind someone's ear and like some little like fire swallowing thing, like he hasn't hurt himself training for that. It's like a very casual, very small fire eating thing, like a cotton ball, whatever. Little showy things that fit in a suit coat pocket.
Yeah, really perfect for little 15-second videos for them to sort of post and tag and things like that.
Exactly. And then he's all like, how about a selfie with me? And then he like sort of like squat in front of the table to do the whole like fit everybody in the frame.
It's perfect. And sort of as you're sort of doing that, and they're sort of get the photos in, and they're quite. There's a moment where they're sort of quite agog at what you're doing. They're quite like, oh. And one of your exes leans in and sort of puts their hand on the one that's at that table, the one that we know of at that table, puts their hand sort of on your backside, I guess, as they're leaning for the photo with you. And as he does, he sort of pauses. It's all gone really quiet suddenly. Again, the lariness has stopped, and he's squeezed in next to you with the photo. And then he's like, and he's looking through, and he sees everyone behind him, and he's like, "What's that noise?" I need you to roll a d4, please, because you have been schmoozing with exes again.
Like it's hard to avoid.
Yeah, it is.
It's a 3 this time.
And a d20, please.
Yeah. 16.
Oh, very good.
I know I'm rolling really well. I wish I could have rolled this well in my game earlier this week.
Right, I'm going to take it to that. Right. Okay. So are you going to so he sort of listens again, and as he sort of asks that, and he's got he or she has their hand on your backside with a photo. Is there anything you wish to do at this moment? You've rolled well, so you can cover the noise. You can cover up the fact there's a noise in any way you want.
Oh, so this person is noticing there's a noise.
Yeah, but you rolled so well, you can cover it up however you want to cover it up.
Oh yeah, he'll say something, smarmy like, oh, I'm sure it's the beating of my heart,
Oh,
Be still, my beating hearts.
Oh.
Oh, wonderful.
And they go, I miss the old days. And as they say, I miss the old days, your mind drifts back to the old days.
Oh, this flashback is one of those British TV drama, like police procedural shows where the protagonist has that really big studio apartment with like a ridiculously high ceiling and the long, tall windows that they stare moodily out of while it's raining. There's a piano in one corner and some recording equipment in another, and the big disheveled bed and against another wall, and Tony's standing there. It's mid-afternoon, staring out at the rain in his gray sweatpants, swirling a glass of whiskey and looking down at his phone where it says Henry Merriweather. And there's some, light chatter, and the last message sent is from Tony, and it says, "I had a great time with you last night." And underneath it says "read, 8:25 a.m.
Oh.
Yes,
wonderful.
there's absolutely jazz playing in the background.
You had the two blue ticks and never anything else.
Yeah. Oh, that is brutal.
He's brought back to the present day with a bit of an over-exuberant squidging of the buttoculars, and then the ex sits back down at the table, and
he always was a little rough. I mean,
and the women sort of
the squeezing is more than Tony was really like prepared for, but he's prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the girls are like, "Oh, thanks, Tony, thank you, and I'll make sure we tag you, reshare, redo everything." And suddenly you're feeling all the vibrations on your phone. It's ping, 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 ping in everywhere. A good half a dozen videos going off. And so it was nice. And you can return back to your seat or stay up or whatever. And they're getting the menus to them now, number 5, so that's why they've gone back.
Tony's gonna go from there, and he's actually table 6 is where the loud lads are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna go to the bar and get like a shot and a beer, and he's gonna go over and somebody's there that he knows, maybe not an ex, and he'll like slide that over to that person and be like, "Oh, I owe you a drink," and he'll like lean on the table, and with his other hand, he'll put another hair tie around the leg of the table.
I think they're drunk enough that I don't think you'll need to roll for this. They don't care what's going on. He's just been given a shot. He's perfectly happy. Hey, Tony, my boy. You're
Yeah.
right. Lovely.
And
What a
Tony
day,
will have
huh?
his own and like toast him, and
Yes.
Nice.
we'll have to
Yeah.
have another match of pool.
Yeah. Oh, I hope it's closer next time. Tony, you're a hustler, Tony. A hustler, mate. A hustler. Get away
I'm
with
sure
you,
you've been
Tony.
practicing. Sure, you've been practicing.
Yeah. Not playing for money again, Tony. Must be some of that voodoo stuff you do, like making balls disappear and stuff, Tony. And one of his mates goes, "Ha! Balls disappear! Hey, no, nice.
Tony doesn't even act embarrassed at that. He just grins, like, and like does the eyebrow raise, like maybe, and then he saunters off.
Yeah, reckless finger guns. Yeah.
Yes, finger guns, like necklace.
Oh. Right, like as you move away, they're getting the menus. I guess it's a chance to take your seat back at the table. Is there anything any of you want to do before the menus come, or are you happy to wait until they get there?
No, I think I'm good until we've had our first visit from the wait staff. Yeah.
Graham?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I had to think about that, but I'm good.
So far, the exes at the wedding has just given Tony extra scrutiny, but no trouble, and I'm kind of fine with that. I think,
Yeah.
I think Tony's a good guy.
So far, people are
It
still
appears
relatively
that way.
sober, Tony,
Yeah.
for now. The menu turns up, and you do have indeed a choice of pork, chicken, or line-caught trout, I believe. So from the rivers, local rivers. So it's up to you what you would like for your main meal. There's a vegetarian option if you don't want it. There's no gluten-free options, I'm afraid, Ewan. You had to ask for that one ahead of time.
I know I should have responded sooner.
No, vegetarian options are what food eats. I'm going to go for the trout, please.
The trout, a fine choice, sir. Fine choice, sir. And you other sirs?
The trout as well.
The trout, splendid. And you, older sir?
Graham will announce to the table. Well, the line caught trout sounds wonderful, but I'm gonna go for the pork. Chuckles to himself a little bit.
I grant you, the pork is funnier.
The porks are very good, and away they go. And table 6 gets their food brought out to them, and table 7, the food is brought over to you, and they'll serve. Carlotta will get her food first, as they're doing weddings. Generally, the ladies first, so Carlotta will get hers. They go to give Deanna hers. They can't quite reach it, so they hand the plate to Graham to pass over.
Oh, do they?
And Graham has a clumsy moment. Or does he? Roll a d6.
I shall. I mean, I'd like to imagine he certainly grabs the plate, off balance, or what was the actual wording? Unstable.
They had it like at your face level and wanted you to pass it. You had to like reach up and like try to find a knot.
What is that? A
Food
4?
soaked quarter.
Okay. Does he have an unstable moment, Ewan?
No, I think he probably grabs it from an unstable point, but manages to rescue it just about.
Fantastic.
There might be some gravy, you know,
It's like splosh.
flowing.
It's like splosh on the
Flowing.
tablecloth.
Yeah.
Deanna smiles and takes on. Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that. And then the food is put in the photographer's seat. She's off taking photos still, of course, of the groups of the lads and things like that. Kind of pretending she's taking photos. She don't want too many of them, but she's there doing a thing. To the vicar, of course, and then to the three of you. And they wander off, and sort of the glasses are refilled, I guess, and you can eat, or you can do other things, or talk, or whatever you want while you eat. But the food is there.
My plan is to eat fairly briskly, and then sneak out on the next phase of the mission. But I don't want to abandon the food, if you know what I mean. I think that would look more suspicious somehow.
Mm-hmm.
That would look more suspicious.
And because it's trout, you can basically shotgun it. You know, you can almost inhale the stuff.
William looks over at you. Hungry, old man, hungry?
Oh, very often I am. Very often. Not right now, but very often.
He's sort of poking the chicken. He's like, I feel like I've made a terrible mistake. Yours looks splendid.
Yeah, you should never get the chicken if you're not cooking it at home. It's not worth it. Tony's obviously enjoying his trout.
I just played it safe at I changed my mind at the last moment, the very last moment.
He's Tony has slipped a roll into his pocket, surreptitiously, just in case he needs it as a bribe.
Yeah, or as a prop for a trick.
That's true. That's true. You never know.
Make it appear from behind someone's ear.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will make my excuses locally for the table. I mean, I'm assuming that people are bustling around and chatting and what have you. So it's unlikely too many people would notice me getting up from the table with any particular interest. But the people actually at the table might. So I'm going to, without really saying anything, take out my packet of smokes and sort of indicate that I'm heading out. And I'm going to try to sneak out through the food prep area rather than out the way of the toilets.
Okie dokie. You'll be making your way over to that door, which we can do. Graham, you were about to say something. Was it something that's happening while John is making that movement?
Yeah, Graham will he'll take the moment as well, and I suppose kind of maybe cover somewhat. And as he's standing up, just say, if you'll excuse me for 1 minute, and he'll stand up and walk away as well, towards the photographer.
Okay.
The photographer's sort of halfway between table 6 and table 4 at the minute. So you can head over to her. I'll do that one first, Ben, because yours might require a bit more complexity, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah, you make it over to the photographer. She's there, Jenny Carmichael, taking pictures of groups as they eat, making sure the food looks lovely, the glasses look very full, and smiling faces and things like that.
On his way over, he'll take his cufflinks out of his shirt, as subtly as he can, and when he gets there, he'll sort of beckon them over, I guess, or pull them off to the side, away from their work and from people.
Yes, Graham, right? Graham, what can we do for you, Graham?
It is Graham. That's quite amazing that the photographer would know so many people's names at the wedding.
Well, I've been sitting 2 seats away from you, and I saw your name badge as you turned up.
That is.
I've not been doing much eating, but I saw your name. I like to notice at my table, at least. It makes me feel a bit more part of it.
That I can certainly understand. I hope you don't mind me interrupting. My cufflinks seem to have broken. I don't suppose you have any. I don't think you do, but you're the only person I could think of to ask. I don't suppose you have any cable ties in with your equipment or around your car.
Oh, I might well do actually. Let me check. Let me check my bag, and if not, I might have something in my car. It's parked up by the hall itself, and she sort of goes over to her bag and roots around.
As I say,
And
possibly some spares, just just in case they're not as stable as cufflinks, and these are already broken.
oh, of course, of course. I like to keep them just in case my tripod's playing up, just to make sure things are a bit secure and things like that.
Ah.
She's sort of rifling around. It's like, um, I haven't. That means I've definitely got some in my car. Do you need them now?
Well, I mean, I can roll them up to eat. I suppose it's not. I'm not a big fan of gravy, so I think I'll be okay for a little while.
I'll be popping out to switch over my, get rid of, take my my memory cup, switch over my memory cards, grab another battery pack, and so on. I'll be going out before dessert is served. If you're happy to wait till then.
That would be very kind of you. I'd be more than happy to to rate you on whatever the photography equivalent of TripAdvisor is in exchange.
Snap advisor.
Snap advice. I'll do it now. And he spends the next half
click
hour on his phone,
Okay.
wandering back to the table, trying to find Snap advisor.
Naturally.
So she heads out, Ben. You, John, you're going through it. It's that funny stage where the main's being served, and they're not clearing plates just yet. So you've got a few of them just busying themselves with bits and pieces, and a few of them standing around. It looks like outside the other doorway, having a crafty cigarette themselves.
Mm-hmm. And what I'm essentially going to do is use the cigarette packet as my visa to travel into these restricted areas.
Ah, the smoker's visa.
Yeah, because you'd be surprised how often that works.
So one of the guys who's at the central table puts his head up when he hears you come in, because he thought he'd been like the last one out of the room. So
yeah, and literally, I'm just sort of
you're right, mate.
indicating with the cigarette packet, and sort of pointing the direction I want to go, which is just to cut across it now through the rear door. Trying to look nonchalant, and it's a case of, you don't mind if I cut. I'm not actually going to say the words, you understand, but you don't mind if I cut through here to have a crafty cigarette, do you?
He sort of looks around, sort of looks at his female colleague. They're sort of clearing out that thing, and he's like, is he just outside? She's like, no, I think he's back at the main house. He's like, all right, and yeah, no, it's all right. Be quick, out you go. If you've got a working lighter, I think that'll make the day of Steve on your way through.
Good stuff. So head outside and cast a sort of left and right. Is there someone who looks like they might plausibly be Steve?
Yeah, there is someone who has a cigarette that is unlit that no one appears to be approaching to offer assistance to.
I pop out a cigarette, wander over and offer to light Steve's.
Oh, thanks. No, it's like an ongoing joke because I'm the new boy. No one ever lights my cigarettes. Thanks, mister.
No problem. There may be an opportunity for you to return the favour a bit later. And I light my own and put the cigarette away. Not lighting a cigarette, you understand. I've got a lighter. But there's a particular present I want to do as a little bit of a surprise for the bride and groom. And I may be coming to talk to you about, sneaking it in through the food prep area, so that we can sneak it in the back and reveal it as a nice surprise for them.
Oh, I don't know, man. You saw what he was like when he saw something he didn't know. I don't want to be I don't want to be known as being part of it. That's the last thing I need. Trouble on my first night.
It's your first night.
Yeah.
It's going to go brilliantly.
Oh, I hope so. I could really do with the money.
Hmm.
So, okay, yeah. Depends. I'm happy to help you out, mate. Thank you for the light. And yeah.
Well, we'll see. It may not be necessary because it's just one of those things where, in order to really hit home, it needs to be a surprise. So it needs to be sort of done on down low a bit. But we'll see how it goes. I may not need to talk to you about it at all.
Okay. Cheers anyway. Thanks. And he sort of holds his cigarette up again. Cheers. Thanks for that.
No problem. And what I'm essentially going to do is take a very meandering and slow lap of the building, clockwise,
Mm-hmm.
of the marquee, clockwise.
Yep.
Just taking in what you said about the way the individual partitions and things are tied half open and hung in an elegant way. And when I finish the cigarette, I'm going to come in through the north main entrance,
Okay.
and come back to the table.
Yeah. And it's sort of you sort of do your wander around. There's nothing of any note that you haven't heard of otherwise. All the doors
Sure.
are very much in the half open stage at the minute. People are eating. Down to the south, on the track, a van has pulled up, which is got 4 guys in, and it appears to have some instruments in the back. It appears the band has arrived for the first part of the musical night. Lovely. They're obviously a bit early, as they should be, and they don't want to start setting up the stage until people are after the speeches. Do you know what I mean? So they're hanging around. And as you sort of come back through and poke your head through, you can see that the dessert menu has made its way out to up to about table 4. So it looks like you're just in time for dessert. And as the desserts are coming out, that is where we shall take our break for this evening.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you, Luke. That was enormous fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was really good fun.
I never get to play an obnoxiously flirtatious person. So I mean, it will be.
She's doing
in
it
the
very well,
future.
to be honest. A dark horse.
Definitely the bard of the group.
Socks was saying Ewan's a dark horse. I think it's Sparrow.
Yes, I would agree.
What's not to love about Tony?
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
forget
true.
about it.
It's true. Yes.
He'll
So
get back
I
to
am
you
curious
eventually.
about one thing, Luke.
He's a
You
nice
had
lad.
this
He's
book
a
with like
good fella.
Yeah.
you had this book with dozens of sort of short one shot kind of games.
Yeah.
And there must have been something about us that made you think, Pig at a Wedding, that's the one.
It is because it's the one that just is open to just silliness, and there is some in there that are quite serious, end of the world kind of stuff, and there's a time and a place for that. But it just seems so different, and it's just so nice to do something so quaint, but at the same time weird, and things that just don't match up.
I think it was a very good choice. It somehow suits us, which
Mhm.
may point to underlying psychological problems for the collection, but nonetheless, it does somehow suit us.
It's probably why we're taking so long over it, though. We're just sort of relaxing, sort of floating
Enjoying
around
it.
in the pool of the wedding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Enjoying the
Easing into
journey.
Easing into the pig.
Oh, don't.
Oh God!
They were ripping.
Oh,
There are
Oh.
places Tony does not go.
Yeah, even Tony has standards. Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess we leave it at. I don't leave it on that. So
That's
we
not
know-
a good note to leave it on. No.
So well, I'll end with a little finishing flashback. So we know that John has memories of Henry cheating against him at badminton,
Mm.
the ball bearing in the shuttlecock. We know that Graham, trying to get down with the youth and connect with the younger audiences, asked for Hermione's help on Instagram. And we know that Tony, heartbreakingly, sent a message to Henry saying, "I had a great time with you last night." And all he remembers is a notification read 8:25 a.m. There is a pig in a coal shed. The scheme is progressing with minor suspicion to this point. The desserts are coming. What a lovely wedding day.
Yeah. And we don't even know what's on the dessert menu.
No, so that's the most exciting thing.
I was kind of hoping we'd at least get the options so I could choose which pig-related dessert I was going to.
Well,
follow
I
up
was
the
hoping
talk
that as
with.
well, because
They've all
when
got
we do
gelatin
our
in.
regular traveller game, you guys have on occasions mentioned that you have secret meetings about what you're planning to do
Oh,
without me
please.
before.
I think
before
you
the
guys
game.
should.
And
I think meetings is a bit grandiose, but yeah.
yeah, I was feeling very
Essentially.
strongly we should have the dessert menu so that you and I can secretly discuss what we're going for.
That's going on.
I'm
our
just going to make
Instagram, that clip.
assumptions about what's on the dessert menu and be upset when they're not on there.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
pull a Henry. What? Oh,
I'm-
dear me. So anyway, on that, I guess, thank you to everyone that's hung around and enjoyed our wedding. I guess we should probably finish it soon, I would imagine. I don't know. We'll talk about people's freedom and availability.
Mhm.
But if people are happy to finish that in the coming weeks, that'd be great.
I'm
Yeah.
very excited to. I think it'd be.
Yes, I'm very eager to see how this ends.
Cool. So we'll work something out.
I leave Saturdays open on purpose for pickup games.
Brilliant.
I'm pretty certain I'm free next Saturday. Is everyone available next Saturday?
Yeah, I think so.
Leon, happy?
Yeah.
Right, shall we have the second part of the wedding next Saturday then?
Absolutely.
We'll
Let's do it.
We'll back to back it. Fantastic.
I
We
mean,
rarely do that,
Saturday,
but
so
this is an opportunity.
it's gotta be
I
a
mean,
wedding.
unfortunately, it's too late for, stopping the wedding, but maybe we can get an annulment.
Pig-related annulment.
Oh no, that goes back to that clip again. Oh,
No, it doesn't. This is the problem with the boys from the Baltic Star. They just say things innocently and they get taken the wrong way.
they certainly do. Oh,
Is that a context you in this time, not out of context Ben?
no, it's a rarity, isn't it? Oh, right. So we'll do that for that. So we'll do this again next Saturday. And,
Lovely.
Next Friday will be our regular traveller. Our sci-fi. If you've come here for the first time tonight, thank you so much. If you've lurked and listened, we really love that. Thank you so much for hanging out and listening to this. I hope you enjoyed it. So we'll do this again next Saturday. If you like this vibe, please come back. Next Friday's our regular traveller game, which is sci-fi. It's light-hearted, but there's more purpose in some ways to it, I guess. And it's an ongoing sci-fi game. So Ben GM, so Ben is like, oh, so good. So it's well worth it for that alone.
What's Sunday, Luke? What are we doing today, tomorrow?
Oh, what, Terra Sunday?
Terra Sunday.
It's
Oh
Spooky
yeah, you need
Sunday.
a new game.
it's a spooky Sunday, and so I play video games on Sunday night, very late on Sunday night UK time, 11:45. In fact, so it just squeaks in a Sunday. And this Sunday I'm starting Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is all Celtic Viking Pictish stuff. It's very interesting. I'm looking forward to playing it. So that will start tonight, and that'll run over the coming few weeks, I guess, until it is completed. So
Yeah, that's tonight UK time.
yeah,
Tomorrow night US time.
US time, exactly.
Yeah.
And yesterday in Australia, I think.
Isn't it the day after tomorrow in Australia or something?
I can't remember. They're ahead, I think. Oh, dear.
20 odd hours, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that'll do Sunday. And the next time we're on is Thursday, which is a Ben special next Thursday. Ben.
Yes, I'm going to do the next behind the screens on Thursday.
Yes.
Ah, that's an
Which
exciting.
is very
Love it
exciting.
behind the screens. Someday I'll be a good GM. It'll be because of Ben and his advice. Also, I really need to find out what's happening in the cyberpunk story, even though I know it's like totally like tropes and the other word common
Memes.
themes. Like I know what's gonna happen. I just want to hear Ben say it.
Good idea.
I'm waiting for Ben to tell me how I should plan for what's going to happen.
Yes.
That's the real
Mhm.
the real tips in there.
The real meat of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I very much enjoy it.
So tomorrow night, Spooky Sunday.
Mhm.
You can have Monday off, you can have Tuesday off, you can have Wednesday off. Thursday is Ben behind the screens, excellent stuff. Friday is Traveller, and Saturday is we might finally find this pig being released at the wedding if the guests don't spot it beforehand.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Can't be ruled out.
Exactly. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, and thank you, Sparrow. I enjoyed myself.
Thank you,
Thank you
everybody.
all.
It's been lovely.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
thank you to everyone in chat and everyone who turned up and lurked and listened and hummed along with the melody, because it's been enormous fun for us.
It really has.
Mhm.
It really has.
Nice. I've enjoyed seeing you guys so big on our new layout for this episode.
Yeah.
You've had space to marinate. Thanks, Doc. Cool. Right, should we go? Let's go to bed. Right,
Okay.
Not together. Well, unless Tony's involved.
Suddenly, I'm crushed. Oddly,
You are a bit far away. And there's a blizzard outside. It's hard to travel.
yes. Yeah. Take care of yourself tonight.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
sounds nasty from the weather,
Yeah.
from the forecast.
Okay then. Right. Ta-ra a bit, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Sleep well. Well, cheers,
Have a
guys.
good
Right.
one.
Farewell. Bye. Bye.